let's see what happens here. And we're going live.
Oh boy.
This is I guess podcast episode number 1 for Michael.
Well, I think for the both of us.
This is what happens when Justin falls prey.
You mean when Justin is physically unable to perform?
Yeah, it's not like I don't know how that feels.
Well, you physically are unable to perform for other reasons.
Oh dear God, so weird. All right, Mike. So what are we going to talk about?
I don't know. I thought you had a little better of an intro than just Oh, we're going live. What are you talking about?
I don't have the topics. You're the one that has the topics. So I could do an intro. I could be like, welcome.
It's not necessarily that I have the topics. It's more we're just chatting. Chatting, maybe getting a feel for this, seeing how well this does, interacting with our chat, or our viewers, our Discord.
We'll see how
if they decide to show up, that is, or maybe they're sick of us and they're just here for Justin. Maybe that's what it's turning into.
That's what it is. He is a very sexy and luscious man, so I completely understand that. But okay, I'll do an intro, I guess. Welcome to the Three-Way Plays podcast hour, starring Michael and Patrick. On today's episode, I have no idea what's going to happen. We brought to you by Jack's Pizza. Got to throw the shameless plug in there.
Shameless plug.
They're never going to support us.
We don't have ranch. Hey, Diesel Man is here. Hey, he wants to know, where is Justin?
He is indisposed for a little bit, so
he's basically physically incapacitated.
Yes. He was pursued by a rabid dog and was assaulted sexually over and over again by a chihuahua.
No, his girlfriend used a strap-on him. And that's why he's just he can't do anything right now.
So what we're doing, we're trying to do something different. We are going to just I don't know, talk about crap and see where it goes. All right, Mike. Mike says he has stuff prepared, and I'm wanting to know what kind of topics he's got to talk about.
Well, first, maybe ask your premise with how's your day today, or how has your day been?
Oh dear God, I've been at work all day, Mike. What do you think?
I know, but have you sat? Have you because I do this all the time at work. I sit down and I kind of just go things throughout my life. Like, how could I have handled this differently? How could I have done differently here? What would have happened if I had done this? So my first question I have really for you, Patrick, is if you could go back in time and do one thing different.
Oh, dear God, I'm scared.
One thing different in high school, what would it be? What would you have done differently in your high school life with the knowledge that you have now compared to then? Because going into high school, you had nothing. You knew not what was going to happen to you.
True.
Or what you were going to go through or anything, and how you would respond to stuff. But now that you become an adult and experience life more, how would you have done high school differently?
Actually, I've got 2 different things, if that's okay, that I would have done differently. They kind of go a little coincide with each other, so that's kind of why I'm doing 2 different things. I was a quiet kid. I didn't participate in sports. I didn't participate with any kind of group. I sat in the back of the class. I never said anything, never raised my hand. I had this side of me that was kind of like it is now that you guys get to see while I'm streaming, and that was part of me, and I never let it out. So it kind of just sucked there, and I really wish that I could have gone back and been who I really was, because it kind of I definitely
a goofy psychopath.
No, not like a Dahmer or nothing like that. Okay, so for instance, I like to. I don't care if I have a horrible voice, but one of the things I like to do is sing. And I was in music class, and we had a chance to get up on stage and sing one of our favorite songs that we could. I would have picked like Godsmack or Metallica or something like that back in the day. And I didn't. I was too afraid. I let the other people pick what I wanted. It was I think Guns N' Roses. I didn't care about Guns N' Roses. And I didn't even sing. Like, I didn't even have fun. Like, if I would have went back now, it would have been, like, definitely I would have been more outgoing. And the other thing, I guess, on the other side of that would be I would have not let bullies bully me. I would have, like, fought back. I was so scared to get in trouble. And I think because of me being so shy and so awkward that I let bullies take advantage of me. And I should have never done it. Like, there was not going to be any repercussions from school that was going to be worse than me getting attacked. So I guess, like, coinciding those two things into one, that's definitely what I would have changed with the knowledge that I have now. I wouldn't have, like, done better in school, honestly. I suck at school. I probably still suck at school. I was my fourth grade class. When I got my final report card, I'm pretty sure my teacher was telling me something, but I was so bad in fourth grade that my report card had nothing but F's for failures and U's for unsatisfactory. And I swear to God, it went F, U, F, U, F, U. I swear to God. I wish I still had that report card because it is the funniest damn thing I've ever seen. I still think about it.
So, like, did you just, like, slack off in your fourth grade class and give your teacher a hard time to where they hated you?
No, I was stupid. Okay, I didn't know that I was.
We were all stupid at that age. Are you kidding me? No. It's the fourth grade.
No. I mean, I literally was stupid. Okay, I did not know that I was in remediation classes, special classes, not like special ed. I did not know I was. You
actually did ride the short bus to school.
No, I didn't. I didn't ride the short bus, but it took me. I was working. Okay, this is how stupid I am. I was working at a job one day when I literally sat there and thought, you know what? I went to a different class midway through my day, and I didn't realize. I just thought it was a special class that, only a select few people got to go to and get help. I didn't realize that I was in a remediation class. That's how stupid I was. But no, I was horrible at every subject. I didn't start getting good. I didn't start understanding classes until like my senior year, and I was already on my way out. So that kind of sucked. Right. I was an idiot. I still am, but
like I said, I'm pretty sure we all were. We all were idiots at that age. Like being in the fourth grade, you don't have any idea of like what is life at that point. All you're like is
no.
I exist here to eat my applesauce and my ham sandwich at school. What else do I do? I don't know what I do. Like you're just a dumb kid. It just happens. It's part of life.
Yeah, no, I get it. It is, but like it's still. I don't know. I was doing so poor. I hated my I had one fourth grade teacher, and I hated them so much that I actually had them move me from one class to another class. And my mind, I never wanted to do schoolwork. I couldn't focus on it. They'd give us homework over the weekend, and I'd come back, and it was completely blank, and I forgot about it, and it was a shock to me every week. It was a shock.
I'm surprised that your parents didn't step in. Did they even know that any of this was going on? That you were like literally not doing your homework because you forgot?
Nah. And my parents weren't really hands-on with me.
Oh, maybe I just had helicopter parents then, because that's what they did. They made sure that I was doing my homework.
Yeah, no.
They always ask me, "You got any homework? Well, let me see your school bag."
What do you
mean you don't have homework? I know you got homework.
The only time that they were like on me was when they got a call from the teacher about my work ethic or my grades. That was it. That was the only time that they were really on me. Every other time they didn't know if I was failing or passing. I got assigned to the 5th grade. Back then in the day, how do
you get assigned to a grade? I thought you just naturally go up a grade.
Well, okay, so back when at least at my school, there was like 3 things. You either got promoted to the next grade, which is like you just got you just graduated basically from 4th to 5th. Then you got assigned, which is you probably should have been held back, but we're gonna let you go forward and see how things go. And then there was
Right.
retained, which you didn't pass. You stayed on the 4th grade. And they assigned me to the 4th grade, which means, like, basically, this kid's stupid, but I don't want him in my class anymore. That's kind of what it was.
I mean, I guess I get that. I don't know. Like, what brought this up is, because I was just thinking about it the other day. I was at work. I was sitting there, bored out of my mind, and I started thinking about, like, my past school experiences and everything else. And then I came to the realization that, so my freshman year in high school, I went to a particular private Christian school.
Okay.
And I was sitting there thinking about, like, their grading system that they used. And I came to a realization that school was messed up in their grading policies. Because, okay, so, like, you know how most schools, it's like anything above 90% is considered an A, right?
Yeah.
Anything in 80s is a B, 70s is C, 60s is D, and then, you know, anything below 60 is considered an F.
Right.
This school, an A was 97% to 98%.
Oh my God.
An A plus was 99% or higher. An A was 95 to 96%. And then it's the B's were the same way. It was 90, or was it 91? No, it was 90 to 92 was a B minus. 93 to 94 was a B, and 95 was a B plus. And then you had your C's, and then your D's, and then anything below 80% was a fail. So if you scored a 79% on a test, that was a failure, and you had to retake the whatever. Because what we used is that we use these booklets that are like self-taught. Uh-huh. So if you scored below a 79%, you would have to retake that whole booklet, which is usually about 60 pages long, and they're usually like really like we're talking like you had to read, like, you would read at the top with smaller font, and it would go article, like an article and an article side by side each other.
Oh my gosh.
It would be like, yeah. And then in high school, so like two of the subjects, the social studies subjects and the science subjects, you got the reading booklet, which was 60 pages long, and then you got the workbook, which the workbook was like everything that's going on in the reading material.
Okay.
And it's like you have to like answer, like when they would have page by page stuff where you had to like answer, like, you read all this blah blah blah. And I was like, I'm just going to go through and do this open book, and just like look for the stuff and then just write it all in. Like, so I was like not even reading the stuff really. And then I would do fine on tests, but like literally I feel like, I don't know, I was just like this is messed up. It's like, you know, you score 79%. That's a C plus in most schools, yeah. And then you get to, you know, but like here it's like, oh, you failed, do better. It's like, but I'm doing average. What? and then I was just like, wow, that's kind of messed up.
That's really messed up. Jay's saying something. He said some school gives grades 1 to 5. 5 is failed, 4 is incomplete. Like,
I feel like, wouldn't incomplete be worse than a failed? Because at least you tried and failed. Incomplete means you never completed it. So like, I would look at that more negatively than an actual failing.
I don't know. That's kind of,
because like you could fail or you could learn from your failures. You can't learn if you don't complete something.
I don't know. I think some of the school systems, like you obviously were in a cult. You were in a normal school.
Yeah. We had to dress up in at least a white shirt and navy or black pants.
Really?
Every day. Yeah. The only days we were allowed to wear not that was we could wear jeans on Fridays, and then Tuesday was gym day, so we could wear our gym clothes, which our gym clothes were considered jeans and jeans and like the school t-shirt.
Oh,
and then the girls could only wear skirts. They could not wear pants. They had to wear skirts.
Did they have like a really polished mirror floor? So like it was like a mirror walking across?
No. The weird part was I only think out of that school there was probably only 2 guys in the entire school that thought about that stuff. Nobody else did.
Oh, see, I wouldn't have never worked in that. I was a pervert. When I was in school, I was a pervert.
Well, no wonder you're still a pervert.
Yeah, you know, you get older, you're still a pervert. You never grow out of certain things. Like, I got kind of screwed over a little bit, but it wasn't it wasn't anybody's fault really. I had a surgery that I had to have done, and the doctors.
You told me about the surgery.
Yeah, they told me that the surgery was going to last for like a week, and they did it over my spring break. It lasted until July. Okay, that's my recovery time. So I missed a lot of school. And I remember in biology class, they would send me my work home, and I would do it at home, which was probably awful anyway. And then I would turn it back in. And by the time that I got this whole packet all stapled together with one big check mark on it, I ended up failing biology. So I'm not even sure he even graded that stuff. He just put a check mark over everything and gave it back to me.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like you were taught anything.
No, it was, oh, God. I hated school. I absolutely hated school. But if I could have gone back, I think I would have done a lot better. I think I definitely would have been not so awkward.
I think the biggest difference I would have made would be I would have probably at a younger age pressured my parents to consider the baseball angle. Because in my youth, I was a pretty good baseball player. Like when I was like 11, 12 years old, I was a pretty good ball player. And I really liked playing baseball. But my parents were dead set on you're not going to a public school. And I was like, well, how else am I going to know how good I am if I don't go to a public school? Right. Because I mean, like literally, this is like how good I was is I could like out like in high school, if we had picked up baseball games, I was hitting a like, you know, those softballs, but like not the official like softballs, like they're like a squishier softball that they use for practice.
Yeah.
For PE, that's how we would play softball. We'd play with one of those. And I used to crank that ball out of the ballpark. And it's a squishy softball that literally you cannot get very good air under, like whatsoever, no matter how hard you try to hit it. And I could crank it out of the ballpark. So I was like, okay, if I could do this, why can't I play on the high school baseball team? Yeah. And my parents were like, no, public school's the devil. So...
You know, I think, I hate to say it though, I think public schools give you one of the best learning tools for the real world, and that is the association and the dealing with other kids. Like, I hated a lot of those kids in school, but I think dealing with them gives you kind of more preparedness. Going to a private school, I've never been. They wanted to put me in a private school, and I'm glad they didn't, but...
Yeah. Well, okay, so the first private school that I went to, because my freshman year, I went to this private school. My sophomore year, I was homeschooled. And then the last 2 years of my high school, I went to another private school, but it was a college prep school. Okay. And the college prep school was a much smaller atmosphere, but the high school part of it was like less than half of the actual student population. And I would say... Like, because even today, I would still recommend people take their kids to this high school, mainly because it's literally kind of like the public school aspect in the public school education, without the persistent bullying, the persistent, like, abusive atmosphere that you get from faculty and you get from the kids, because, you know, we know how kids are.
Yeah, the bathroom molestations. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So, like, it's like that without that stuff in it, so you can concentrate more on your schoolwork. And like I said, it's a college prep school. So it's like you're literally doing slightly below college grade level classes. And that makes any sense.
I mean,
and like I said, so like that, those years, I got to experience kind of like what a public school would have been like for me, but like I said, it was a smaller school, and we, you know, everybody was pretty close knit. We treated, you know, everybody treated each other like family. There was no real bullies. If someone was a bully, they usually got outcast by the rest of the student body. So like they would like just ignore this person, not sit there and be friends with them. So like those type of people just wouldn't make it. They wouldn't exist in this kind of school. But like I said though, like, I mean, the only thing I did there, I joined the basketball team. That was it. So there was nothing else.
Basketball as much as baseball, though, did you?
I mean, I enjoyed basketball, but like the only thing I had going for myself was I had a pretty jump shot. I didn't have, my dribbling is very below average, but my jump shot, however, if I get into a groove where I'm like very consistent, I can hit like. Just a couple months ago, I was shooting free throws here in the driveway at home, and I hit 20 out of 25 free throws.
Well, that's like pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that is really good. That's considered really good in terms of basketball. But that's because like I said, I would get into a groove, and I had such a mechanical shot that I could just keep the mechanics going over and over and over. So it's pretty simple. And then I could hit 3-pointers. Like I was probably the best in practice. I was probably percentage-wise the best 3-point shooter on the team. I was just never given a chance to shoot 3-pointers in games.
Yeah, I was never good at sports.
Yeah, I don't know what Jay means by you're watching the stairs below.
I don't know. Maybe it's because like my eyes look like they're looking downward, and I'm just kind of like looking down at the desk. But I'm guessing that's what he's talking about. I don't know.
What stairs do you have under you?
He said, I joined the volleyball team, but half the team are...
I mean...
I would hate to have like one of them like, all right, guys, let's hit the showers kind of thing going on.
No. You have to worry about the coaches in that scenario when they want to peek in on you.
Yeah, we had a gym teacher that was like that. Really weird.
Oh, yeah. So we had... So when I first went to the school, the rumor that was going on was our gym teacher, supposedly, he accidentally or whatever peeked into the girls' locker room one time during PE. And so when it came, so now they posted a female teacher outside the girls' locker room at all times, even though I don't know. I don't know if it was true or false or whatever happened, because like I said, this is my junior year. I get there and I hear about this. I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. But I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know if they just made it up or whatever. Because you know how kids are. They're a little over dramatic whenever something happens.
We had a gym teacher that liked to wear really tight pink shorts.
Oh, no. I mean, he wore pink shorts too, but they weren't tight fitting.
No, this was like you could see the vein in everything.
That's so he's wearing spandex.
I'm not. I want to say he like put on saran wrap and was coloring it with a highlighter. That's like it was tight. I mean, I think it got to the point where even the principal or the superintendent told him that he can't wear those shorts anymore because I think enough kids complained about it.
That's when you discovered you swing both ways.
No. The door swings one way.
Are you sure about that? Because Justin would say otherwise. Justin
is probably sick eating. What he probably did was he went and got one of those Jack's Max pizzas that I took a picture of, and he was probably got himself sick off of that.
I don't think he's left the house.
I doubt it.
All week. I'm pretty confident. No, wait, he did. He left to go out to eat one night, and then they came straight back home.
Well, we went grocery shopping, and I think I saw him when we went Thursday. But that was it. He's dead.
I went yesterday.
We're gonna
not dead.
We're gonna have a memorial service on here one day. You're gonna see a coffin in back.
Don't say that. You're gonna get the viewers all worried. They're already all worried about him.
No, he's okay. He's just not okay.
He's okay. He's just not okay.
All right, you got another topic?
Where did I put my thing at?
I don't want to know where you put your thing at, Mike.
Okay, I got a good one for you. So, you've seen the Avengers, right? And most of the Marvel universe, correct?
I mean, yes and no, and I've seen quite a bunch of like segments and stuff like that, but it just depends. If you're going to ask me about like some of the more obscure Avengers, then probably not, but anyway, go ahead.
No. Okay, so in the Avengers Endgame, they use the was it like space-time continuum, basically?
Okay.
They use, spoiler alert, they use basically like time travel in a certain way to have different universes and different like branches off in those universes in like basically like a time loop.
Yeah.
Essentially. Do you feel like sometimes movies, when they use these time travel loops, it's kind of cheesy? Or do you kind of think that in some aspects time travel is kind of a cool concept? Or do you think it's kind of just used in a way it's like, well, we have no way to further this plot. You know what? Time travel.
I would say that if the movie is based around the time travel, aka Back to the Future, even though it has flaws, then I don't have a problem with it. But if you have a movie such as this, or even like Harry Potter, where they throw time travel in, then you should be able to do a whole lot more with time travel than what they just do in the movies. So I think if they're going to use time travel as kind of like a scapegoat, and I think a lot of movies do that anyway, not just Avengers or Harry Potter, any movie that like throws in some form of a time travel is kind of a scapegoat, because I feel like they just don't know how to finish it.
I mean, didn't in Back to the Future, didn't he go back and fuck his mom?
No.
Or I thought he did. Wait, what? Okay,
she had the hots for him, but he didn't.
That's
do
what
anything.
it was.
No,
okay, that's what it was.
That would have been just odd, because she even made a comment. She's like, "When I'm kissing you, it feels like I'm kissing my brother," and because she like came onto him and kissed him or something like that. But oh God, could you imagine what that tree would have looked like?
He probably wouldn't have existed.
No, or like he would have started transforming into this thing.
He'd start losing his intelligence.
Yeah. I like this. Yeah, I don't know. Like if time travel was possible in the Avengers universe, couldn't they just go back to when like Thanos was made and just kill him then?
Well, I mean that was an argument that they had brought up before. It's like, well, they didn't do that. Instead, they went back to when they like had to do with the gemstones. It didn't have to do with Thanos at all. Like,
yeah, I feel like
because the way they said it is, okay, they could kill Thanos, but there'd just be another Thanos. Like the fact that because like in these timelines or whatever, there has to be an ultimate villain or whatever. So it'd be, you kill Thanos, then someone else would just take his place.
Well, I mean, wouldn't that happen after Thanos anyway?
I mean, maybe, I don't know exactly. Because I thought they brought that up though. It's like, well, why don't we just go back and kill him? It's like, can't do that. It's like, why can't we do that? It's like, because someone else will just rise up and take his place and set off the same events. It's like, but then wouldn't you just prevent that from happening too?
I mean, if you have the ability to time travel, I mean, you have unlimited possibilities to do anything that you need to do. I mean, if you screw something up, it's the ultimate reset button. You screw something up to where something else is created, you just go back into time before you did that screw up and then change it. Like,
well, the thing is though too, in a lot of these, they're like, okay, so like they went back in time or whatever, and it's like their person from that present was there. So it's like there's two of them in this timeline. So it's like when you go back into the past, it's like when you go back, if you went back, let's say like you went back in the past 20 years, is your 20-year ago self still going to be there, or is it you with the knowledge of the future in your 20 years ago self?
See, now you're starting to open up a whole nother can. You're talking about, are we traveling backward in time, which is in our future state, or are we traveling back to a time when we were younger? So
I mean, that's essentially what they did in the Avengers. They went back in time in those, in the time planes or whatever. They went back in time or back to these universes at those points. But like they caused like other things to branch off. Like, so Loki was captured because they went back. Loki got free. That created a whole different branch in the, in the time loop. So like when they got back to the present, Loki was free. Loki was alive and free.
Yeah, so, yeah. I think if I had the ability to do that, I would have been Tony Stark, and I would have went back and Iron Manned them all while they were just weak. And I would have been the only Avenger at that time.
So you go back in time and kill Hitler when he was a baby?
I saw that Deadpool scene, and I gotta admit, that would have been hard. Because he would have been a baby. He wouldn't have done anything yet. You would have had to...
But...
what if you would have went back in time, picked him up, and then took him forward in time and put him in a loving family? Not in Germany.
Or, go back in time, take him from the abusive father that he had, and put him up for adoption and make sure he got into a good family.
Jay said, I think we can time travel into the future now by cryogenic freeze. Possibly.
Okay. the way I saw stuff on like how to make that work or whatever, or the theories behind how to make that work. Like, okay, so if you go into cryogenic freeze, the problem is you got to do it in a way where it doesn't destroy your cells, because that's as soon as you freeze something, the cells in it are destroyed. They die. That's why, like, when you freeze anything, it dies. It doesn't just like go to sleep or whatever. Like, because that's always been like the thought process. So like you would have to do a freeze to where it doesn't kill your cells. And then there's got to be a way, because you still got to be fed, you know, even though you're in a freeze or whatever, you got to stay alive that way. You still got to get oxygen. And because if you're not, you know, your brain lives off of oxygen. So if it's not being fed oxygen, it's going to die. So it's like a super complicated process that's like not as simple to solve as people.
What if movies could slow down your cell growth to where you still experience time in a state of like sluggish? I don't know, like where everything's kind of moving fast around you. You're kind of like slowed down because your cell growth is just kind of like almost non-existent. So that way you're just kind of waiting for time at that point. I don't know, man. There's a lot of theories.
I mean, something like that kind of already exists. It's called drugs.
Yeah.
You know, it like let's see, they have those. They're hallucinogens.
Yeah, I suppose. I've heard a theory about time travel that we actually are able to do time travel. We're just not able to do space travel. And what that is when you go back into time, say 50 years, the Earth's position is not where it is right now. So if you're going back 50 years ago, you're going back in time, you're just landing in space 50 years from where the Earth will be. So you're just kind of floating out in space like debris and you die. I've heard that theory. I kind of think that one's pretty neat. That because, I mean, if you think about it, we're traveling through space. We're spinning. We're going. So Earth would not be in the same exact location. You would have to go back into time, not only going back early, but you would also have to go back in a place that was pinpointed 50 years of travel prior. So I've heard that theory before, that we just can't navigate.
It's basically like, so the concept is like you're at this point right here and you're wanting to go back to this point. Well, you go back in this point in time, you're still in this same plane, but the Earth would be like, say, like right here. Yeah. So you fall off, whatnot, or fall out into space.
Pretty much, yeah. And eventually, 50 years later, burn up like, oh, it's a shooting star, when in actuality it's Henry, because he traveled back in time and he's just now his body's burning up into the ozone.
I would like to see where they came up with that concept, because it leaves me asking a ton of questions. It's like, how, if this supposedly this exists, how are you able to prove it? Like, how are you able to prove it worked if there's no, like in this case, for example, that no one would have survived that?
It's true.
So how do you prove it?
I don't know. It's like dying. Only you can take that trip and see what happens, I guess. Sleeping can make. Hey Joseph, sleeping can make stop the body activity like a bear.
I mean, while you're sleeping.
True. See, that's another thing too. Was it Einstein's time dilation or something like that, to where like or a theory of relativity, where time is only relative to you. So if you go out in space or something and you're traveling for 5 years and you come back, it's been like 20 years on Earth, but you've only traveled and you've only existed for 5 years, because once you leave everybody else, time's only relative to you or something like that. I don't understand that. I don't know math, how they even get that. I don't even know if that's like a real thing or not. Yeah. I know I've heard it.
I feel like that'd be it. We'd have to watch an Einstein documentary to figure that one out. Or at least kind of break the surface of it. That dude, I feel like it's a little more.
I think he was high half the time, and he was just coming up with things that nobody else could like debunk.
I mean, that could be true.
Hey, Joseph.
I mean, have you seen?
We're not really. What he looks just like? Talking about subjects right now. We're in the middle of talking about time travel and stuff like that right now.
Have we played Overwatch? So that was what we were supposed to do today, but Justin's incapacitated.
Yes. Justin ate a bad canned pea, and his sack grew 3 times normal size. I'm just going to start coming up with a whole bunch of different things, so that way when Justin actually comes back on in 3 years, they can all just compile all this crap at him.
I kind of hope he just kind of peeks in randomly.
I mean, he really could.
Well, yeah, and then he just like listens to both of us and he's like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
Well, if he does, the screen's kind of set up to be able to, I think, take him. So if he does pop in, but who knows? Yeah, it was a pea. Yeah, just a little tiny canned pea. Ended up causing him to have elephantitis.
I don't even want to know what that is.
Okay, Mike, let's say time travel exists and it works perfectly. When would you go back into time?
When would I go back in time? Good question. Mainly because going back, you wouldn't want I would kind of want to go back in history just to witness the big historical moments that had happened, like witness them firsthand.
Right.
Because we kind of, there's a lot of them that we kind of over exaggerate how things went down. So it's kind of curious to see what exactly happened. But every time when I sit and think about it, what stops me the most is there was no toilet paper and there was no toilet. And people smelled terrible because they didn't bathe.
That is true.
So it's like sitting back. It's like you read through the history books and it's like you hear about, this person was so beautiful, blah blah. This woman was this, she was more gorgeous than whatever, 1,000 sunsets, blah 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 blah. And then it's like when you sit and think about that period, it's like, were they really? Because they probably stank because they didn't take a bath they took a bath once a month. So it's like, how in the world could you say that they were probably attractive when it's like you get in there like, you shit yourself? She probably had a bunch of shit up her ass crack that she couldn't wipe off because she's not gonna bathe for a month and then it'll be gone. It's probably caked up there, but it's probably about the same like that for everybody.
Oh my god!
So it's like you go back, you want to go back in history. It's like, I want to experience let me think of a good one. I want to go back in time and experience the signing of the Declaration of Independence. It's like, how many of those men probably made that room smell horrible?
Oh, probably all of them. That you probably find out it wasn't even like what you think it is. Like they depict on that, what is it, $2 bill or whatever.
Yeah,
it probably wasn't even anything like that. It was probably a bunch of half-naked men sitting in the bathtub. He's like, you know what we ought to do? Let's just write up something. Probably drunk, high off their ass. Like, yeah, let's go ahead. Everybody's free. It's like coming up with stupid ideas. Some jackass ended up writing everything down, and he's like, you know what? That's a good idea.
We don't really know. We don't really know what happened. Like, we have the documentation and we have the journals, we have the stuff, and it's like, what exactly happened? Like, we don't really know for certain. And it's like, what was the atmosphere of the room? I don't know too much. Like, okay, according to that time period, they were literally committing treason. So it's like, were tensions high in the room because they knew that they were putting their lives on the line for this document.
Yep. I don't know.
It's like,
it would be neat to see stuff like that, I think. But I'm going to be selfish. And if I had the ability to go back in time, I would grab the winning lottery tickets at the time I'm going back to, and I would go back to a time where all of the stuff that I wanted as a child that now is freaking ridiculously expensive, I would go back into that era, relive through my childhood, and get all the stuff that I wanted to get. So I had that stuff. So I wasn't like, are you serious? It's $3,000. No, I've still got it because I'm realizing now that I'm getting older, the stuff that when I was a child, that stuff is starting to have more meaning to me than it used to. Back then,
it's also worth more money.
Yeah, but to me though, a lot of my stuff in childhood, I had several Halloween decorations that I look at now trying to go back and rebuy, and they're expensive, even though that's stupid. it was stuff that I had. It was stuff that I liked. Like all my old PlayStation games that I don't have anymore. I had like over 100 PlayStation games. I'd freaking kill to have that stuff back. But
imagine if you had a copy of Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
And then you got a copy of Final Fantasy VII back at the time, and you left it unwrapped.
Yeah.
Or you left it still wrapped. Like, you didn't unwrap it. You left it, in its original wrapper, everything, and you didn't touch it. And you were like, Mom, Dad, I'm not playing this game. I'm going to leave it like this. And then you just stash it away somewhere. Like, I could guarantee you something like that would probably go for thousands of dollars right now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everything's getting graded and stuff. I had the original Final Fantasy VII when it came out, plus I bought the strategy guide with it. I had that. I had almost every great PlayStation games. The only ones that I saved that I'm glad I did were my Silent Hill collections. I still have them sitting behind me from PlayStation 1 all the way through. PlayStation 1 of Silent Hill 1 copy used open is going for over $200. And most of the ones that are open, that are used, are somewhere around $200 until you get to like the newer ones. So I've got, if I were to have to go rebuy that stuff, I wouldn't be able to. So I'm glad I hung on to that. But I think tax time, I'm going to buy a couple PlayStation games for like $200 a piece because they really meant something to me back then in the day.
So you're buying them for pure nostalgic reasons?
Yeah, I'm gonna rebuy. I've obtained an old PlayStation, cleaned it up, it works, and I'm gonna buy a couple things. I'm gonna buy a TV and put in the other bedroom and like do some nostalgia gaming. But yeah, well, I mean,
save it for the channel.
I could play that stuff, but I tried hooking up to play Silent Hill on the PlayStation, and apparently the PlayStation cannot handle the resolution that these monitors can deal with. So it won't load it on there. So when I was playing it, I could only look at it on my laptop. I couldn't look at it on my desktop. So I had to play it through OBS.
Okay, you get one of those HD converters.
I do. I have them.
Oh, you have one?
I got 3 of them because I couldn't get the first 2 to work because I thought maybe there was something wrong. I have 3 of them. And they all say the same thing. And when I started looking it up, it's the output that they put out is like 240p or something like that. The output that they put out will not match what the monitor that I have. If I go to the TV, it'll be fine on the TV. But the monitors that I have back here, it won't accept it. It says there's a failure.
I mean, that makes sense. I have 3 4K monitors here, so
yeah, you probably wouldn't be able to do it.
No, I wouldn't.
But yeah, I'm going through like a nostalgia kick real bad, so I'm like picking things from my childhood that used to mean a lot to me, and I'm like rebuying them. I hate to admit that.
I haven't reached that point yet.
Well, you're not as old as I am. I'm ancient.
I'm about to be 32, so
wait until you get to the point. Hang on, listen to me, people that are watching this stream. Hang on to your crap. Don't get rid of it. You will want it back one day.
Unless you're not a sentimental person.
Yeah, that's true too. When I was living in Oklahoma, we left a bunch of stuff. I left a huge box of my original Xbox. I had probably like 50 Xbox games in it, plus a ton of accessories. And I even had this thing that fit on top of the Xbox that lifted up like a screen, and it had like a little 5 or 6 inch screen with speakers on the side, so you could kind of. It wasn't mobile playing, but you could like take it without a TV. You could plug all this stuff in, and you could sit there and play with that little LCD. I had all of that stuff, and I ended up leaving it. I
had a platinum GameCube, which at the time that I had it was pretty rare to have one because it was a limited buy, and I gave it away. Not really thinking much about it because at that point I had an Xbox 360, and I didn't feel like I needed to keep it. Whatever, it's worth nothing and everything else. And then I just gave it away, and now it's like, oh, if you find it's hard to get one now. Like you cannot find a GameCube anymore. So it's like,
hey, Lego Bros,
what did I do? Yeah,
don't like. You might get to a point where you want to be like, you know what, I'd like to play the GameCube. Because a lot of those games you can either emulate or they remaster them or whatever. It's just not the same.
Literally, that's what me and my brother were talking about. Like he downloaded an emulator, and he emulates Nintendo Switch games, GameCube games, N64 games, whatever, like the whole kick. And I was like, the sad part is he used to have a Nintendo Switch, and then he sold the Switch just because he found out, oh, there's a free emulator I could download and play these games. So that's what he did. And I was just like, oh, well. And he's like, well, I didn't get the original price that I paid for. I'm like, well, yeah, no one's going to pay for a used one. How much did you sell for? I think I sold it for about $200. And he had he had a bunch of games for it too. So it's like he probably lost a good $300 after it was all said and done. And then I was like, well, why did you suddenly download this emulator? He's like, I wanted to play Breath of the Wild again. It's like, well, how long after you sold your Switch did you want to play? He's like, oh, about couple days. So like 2 days after he sold his Switch, he was like, I want to play Breath of the Wild again.
I know how that feels, because I've had probably like 5 Switches in my lifetime so far, and every time I get rid of one, I'm like, I'd really like to play Animal Crossing again. So I can't, man.
The funny thing is, like, I had a Switch, and then I sold my Switch, and then I haven't wanted to buy another one because I just don't know. I kind of just shied away from Nintendo, mainly because they're kind of a crappy company. Let's be honest. Like, they're copywriting. You can't do anything Nintendo without them copywriting you. That's how bad it is. Like, news flash, guys. My Call of Duty stream from 2 weeks ago, or was it 2 weeks ago, or was it last week? No, it was 2 weeks ago.
Hey,
my Call of Duty stream from 2 weeks ago, we got copyrighted claim for that. And when I looked at why we got copyrighted claim, it literally said I stole from Activision's actual playthrough. And I'm sitting there like, I'm playing the game. Like, it's me playing the game. It's my gameplay. Like, how am I copying something? Like, what is going on? So I disputed that. I was like, I'm not going to deal with this, and I disputed. And guess what? The last 3 streams, no copyright claims. Funny thing, huh?
I have a theory about that. Real quick, though. Yes, Mobiles, we're kind of doing a podcast because Justin is still having his large sack problem. So until he gets better, we're kind of like postponing a little bit of things, hopefully.
We're just chilling.
But yeah, this is a podcast episode.
Yeah, we're just chilling.
I kind of have a theory about that. I'm almost wondering, did you just like play Call of Duty almost perfectly mirrored to what their gameplay footage was?
If that's a freaky coincidence. I didn't look at it because it was like a whole 1.5-minute segment that they were saying that I stole from their playthrough, and I was just like, you got to be joking, right? Like, you got my camera of my webcam up in the right-hand corner. And I'm just like, there's no way. There's just no way that I possibly could have done that. And I even, like, when I typed it out to him, I was like, this is my gameplay. Like, and then, like I said,
anyway.
Well, yeah, it was they copyrighted it, and I was just like, okay, whatever. So I disputed it. There's been nothing back on it yet. It's been nearly 2 weeks, and if it goes 30 days without any counterclaim or whatever, they will release it. So it'll go back to us. All the revenue will.
It's so ridiculous that it takes so long to dispute something like that.
Well, to me, it would be just a quick, like, literally all that has to happen is a human on whatever bot, like the bots that use it, or like the bots that like figured it out. Shush, Jay. Like whatever whatever bot program that they were using, that caught it or whatever. Like, all it would take is for a human to review it and be like, oh yeah, this dude's just playing Call of Duty. Well, he's not.
They probably got so many people actually trying to steal footage and stuff. So I mean, that they probably don't have enough people maybe to like watch it.
But even still, though, it's like I went on a rant with like I called when that happened. Like I saw that, I called my dad and was like, this is what. I even told him, like, I also told him about when you got copyright striked for being in the Fallout 4 game menu.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when we got copyright striked for literally lines in a video game being said in that Sea of Thieves stream. Yeah, I I told my dad, and I went on like a anti-establishment rant at him. I was like, this is why big companies suck. This is why they should not be controlling every aspect of our lives like we do. Because like we're just out here, we're literally making pennies off these videos, and it's like we're going to copyright claim them because we want your 5 cents. It's like, are you in that dire straits, like that desperate that you need the 5 cents we're gonna make off this video?
Maybe,
like really?
Maybe they know that like we're gonna turn out something big, and they want to go ahead and get their claws in us before we take off.
I mean, but that's the thing. We're not that big now. We're at 1,550 subscribers right now.
Which, thank you, by the way. Thank you for the 1,500 and whatever.
Yep, good job, everybody. Keep advertising us to your friends, and maybe one day we'll get that Jack's Pizza sponsorship.
Jack's Pizza. Sounds pretty good right now.
With our logo. There's a good thing that we should talk about. If Jack's decided to sponsor us, and they're like, we will make pizza, like we'll call it the Three-Way Plays Pizza, what would we want that pizza to be like? Would we want it to be like 1/3 pepperoni, 1/3 sausage, and 1/3 like, I don't know, bacon or ham or something?
That's kind of a really cool idea. Like a Three-Way Plays pizza that it's like split into 3 different segments. I mean, it's not like an aggressive idea, but I think that would be kind of neat.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant, actually. And then like
support us. Freaking Justin, man, it is bull crap.
That would be kind of cool though. Like we would get the royalties off that pizza.
Yeah, then like nobody buys it anymore.
every Jack's Pizza that gets sold, that's this. We get like 25 cents of it.
Well, you find out like we finally get like a sponsorship with Jack's Pizza, and then all of a sudden the CEO of Jack's Pizza goes in and pulls a Jared Fogle, and Jack's Pizza and anything associated with Jack's Pizza is just tainted.
Oh no, we just get canceled.
Yeah, we don't want to be associated with Three-Way Plays or Jack's Pizza.
It's like, guys, we I'm sorry to say this, but we had to end our sponsorship with Jack's Pizza because it's not brand friendly to be sponsored by YouTube is frowning upon us because there's a little pedophile for their CEO.
Well, you can't say that, can you? What did Joseph downloaded Overwatch? Is that what he's writing? Very mad because it didn't like how it replaced the last game. But I don't know what's wrong with Overwatch 2. I've heard it's got problems or something like that going on.
I've just heard the servers are pretty loaded. Like they're long queue times, long load times, getting kicked from server. Just the same stuff that we had problems with Overwatch 1. But like, I don't know. I think everybody, like literally, because me and Justin played Overwatch 1 not too long after it came out. We experienced all the issues that they're complaining about now with Overwatch 2. With Overwatch 1, we experienced all of it. So I think people have just forgotten in the 6 years that it's been out, or since it came out, how there was the same issues existed back then.
Yeah. I don't know. It's ridiculous. You got any more topics that you want to... Was that your last topic?
That was basically all I could come up with at the time. I was kind of hoping maybe you would also have something you could ask me that we could discuss about.
Mike's facing the
pig be like. I
love that face.
I want to know, why do you think I look like a frog? Because I've asked Justin hundreds of times why you think I look like a frog, and he's like, you know what? I really don't understand either.
I love the picture. He caught you at such a good time. And it wasn't even that he was trying to catch you. He was trying to take a picture of the empty shelves. And you just happened to be making this, like,
he told me to pose. So that was my pose. He literally told me, he was like, here, pose for this. We're going to take a picture that they're all out of Jack's Pizza. And so I did. And that's what it turned out. And everyone's just hung up on the face. Which I would say the thumbnail for this video looks pretty good. But,
yeah.
Another one of Justin's miracle works.
Yes, Justin makes all of our thumbnails, so you're seeing his creative side on those.
Yeah, I was not expecting what he came up with.
You have like a cigar in your hand or something like that.
No. Okay, so what that is? That's a photo that already exists. It exists of that's Elon Musk and Joe Rogan on their podcast.
Okay.
So he just subbed out their faces with me and you. So and this is when he smoked a cigar on a podcast with him, and he just had this look like. Alexander is here.
Hey, Alexander. Welcome to our BS. What the hell are those things called? Podcast stream. Since Justin's got his nuts stapled to the bed.
Maybe this is a good opportunity for us to kind of like open the floor up for our viewers and let them ask us questions.
Hey, you guys got any questions? You got any topics that you want us to talk about? You want to talk about foreskin and how garlic bread fits inside?
Do we want to talk about how Patrick found a woman that would actually have his kids?
Let's not talk about that. There's only so much Rohypnol in this world. What can JWST tell the age of the universe? What's JWST?
Favorite thing, Taco Bell. We're back to Stackers.
I will say KFC back in the day, they had some awesome twisters, which was two chicken strips wrapped in a burrito shell with ranch or Caesar sauce and some lettuce and cheese. Oh my God, those things were delicious. They were only $1.69. You could buy 3 of them and fill your stomach up. Anyway, back to Taco Bell. I don't know what JWST is. Tell the age of the universe. I'm guessing Jahistian. I don't know what the hell that is.
Mike looks like Frog because he has slit eyes and a straight face. What does that even mean? James Webb Space Telescope.
Oh,
that's the new one that they launched not too long ago. I don't really know if they were able to determine the age of the universe. I don't think. In my honest opinion, I don't think they're going to be able to tell what the age of the universe is because I don't think they have a clue. I think they're just shooting numbers in the dark, hoping maybe one of them's correct. Because I really don't think they know.
I think what they'll do is they're going to do exactly what's been happening in the past. They're going to look and they're going to see more stuff that they've never seen before, and they're going to start to go off of that. What was that one telescope? I don't know if it's the same telescope or is the Hubble telescope or whatever.
Yeah, I think you're talking about the Hubble.
Where they pointed at a little pin dot in the sky, and they left it there. And after so long of, I can't remember what that word's called, it came back as an image of galaxies, not stars, not planets, galaxies in the distance. And that was just like in a little pin dot of a picture that it was taken from the sky.
Mm-hmm.
So I think literally they're going to see more stuff than they've ever seen, and it's going to open up more discussions, more debates. I don't think we'll ever figure out the whole universe question. I think that's just going to be something that's just going to float around until who knows.
Before we answer mobiles, we should answer. Alex is asking for dating advice. He says, should I go out with this girl that got expelled for, I'm assuming stabbing a girl in the cheek with a pencil? Was the stabbing justified? Was she in self-defense?
Should I go out with this girl that got? But what if he's saying that she stayed a girl? Like maybe she was like a guy and then transitioned to a girl and decided to stay a girl? With something to do with the cheek and a pencil?
She got expelled. She said, "No good. She's no good like a moldy Twinkie."
Alexander. You follow your heart. If she feels like she's the right person for you, it doesn't matter what she's done as right now.
If Justin was here, he would ask if she was hot. If she was hot, then he would say yes.
I have got a really thing that you marry your friend. And I'm not talking about me marrying Mike, but looks and attractiveness will fade. And I mean, what I mean by that is once you are around somebody so long, you stop noticing the way they look and you start noticing the person that they are. So always go for somebody that you have a really close connection with friendship-wise. But otherwise, she could look good. I mean, so I don't know.
As for mobiles, what's our favorite games?
I think I know what Mike's going to say.
It's not going to be any. It's not going to be any of the games that I've played recently. It's going to be like overall, like what would be like a game. I would have to probably say anything Elder Scrolls, really. Elder Scrolls, or
I was going to say Skyrim. That you were going to say something like that.
It's either that or like I like going back and playing like my nostalgia stuff. Like I was real big into the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise until Sonic 06.
Resident Evil was a good game.
Yeah, I assume yours are going to be like Silent Hill or...
That would be my favorite like horror game of all time. But if I had to pick...
Or Fallout. You're going to say Fallout.
See, I'm older than you guys. So like my mind will drift back to something that I played probably younger. I love Fallout. That hands down, okay? Mm-hmm. But the thing too is nostalgia-wise, right? Final Fantasy VII, I played the hell out of it. I maxed out that timer at 90, 95, 95, or 98, 99, 95, something like that. But I went back and replayed it when they brought it to Xbox, and it didn't have the same feel. I couldn't put the same amount of hours into it. God, that's kind of hard.
I've been noticing here lately, I'm not finding... I've found a couple like little RTS games that were like super cheap on Steam, and I was playing those, but like I haven't found anything really that I have fallen in love with until Warhammer 2, and then I started getting major into the Warhammer franchise for a hot minute. But even then though, like I played through most of the Mortal Empire campaigns, and it's just like, okay, what do I do now after like I played through most of them? So it's like, even though like when I first started getting into it, I was literally being like, this is how I envision playing a Lord of the Rings game, because it felt like literally I was playing Lord of the Rings, but it's like it's a different franchise, so it's not like all Lord of the Rings. Because I would say hands down the one thing I would play sink a lot of hours into would be a Lord of the Rings RTS game.
Yeah, I could see that.
But they just don't exist.
I think if I had to pick like right now of a game that I'd want to go back and play and keep playing, it might be Skyrim. I don't care. It would be Fallout would be a close second. But I will say, lately with the games, one of the games that I found was a breath of fresh air compared to, I think when I played Skyrim the first time was like 2013. Elden Ring. I absolutely fell in love with Elden Ring, and it felt like I was playing like Skyrim for the first time again. Something like that. It just had a feeling to it. So I really loved Elden Ring. And that was actually, really honestly, my first installment of any of the Dark Souls or Demon Souls games. So,
I mean, same here, but I don't know. I got frustrated with it because it's so difficult.
It is, but I think that's some of the beauty of it, because there's so many different ways that you can play the game, and you can, whatever combination, if a combination's not working out for you, change up the combination and go something else. You can build your character however you want to, and I think I had a little difficult at first playing it like that because I didn't realize that I could build my character however I wanted to. You just find the play style that works for you, and then the game becomes like a dream. I don't know. I loved it.
I don't know. I
have no idea.
My thing with it,
Twinkie thing is that they're going on about.
Trash talking moldy Twinkie.
I have no idea.
I don't know either. Mobiles, you are definitely the biggest wild card I think I've ever seen.
Yes, Mobiles definitely keeps the chat.
Literally between Mobiles and Joseph, it's just like, what are you getting? Like, it's like, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know where you're gonna get. It's like, oh, life is a 3-way play stream. We don't know what Mobiles and Joseph are gonna say.
No, it could be really bad or it could be entertaining. I mean, I don't know anymore. It's kind of scary, but it is entertaining. The Twinkies going bad.
Maybe we need for both of them to get in like the super in-depth conversation with each other and just have us commentating on it. Be like, okay, what do they actually sit there and think? Like, they're like, man, this part of my school is haunted. I tell you what, or like, what's going on in their lives? We don't know.
We need something. There we go. Let's. She wants to drive your car and she doesn't know how to.
Now I question how old she is.
As long as it's legal, I would definitely probably.
I mean, he's 17. First. He's not of legal age yet. He's not legally an adult. He's 17 years old.
Quid pro quo. Even though nowadays it's not that appropriate. She gives something for you. You give something for her. I don't know about these moldy Twinkie things, Mobile.
That box of chocolates is full of Alex's moldy Twinkies, also known as gross, disgusting, and the only thing he can afford.
What is the scariest place you've been in, Mike?
Since we're getting close to Halloween. The scariest place I've ever... Scariest place I've ever been in. Okay. Like, does it have to be like, as in like potentially scary, or just something that kind of jarred me?
Something that scared you personally. It doesn't have to be like a haunted house or nothing like that, but something that personally scared you.
So, okay, we're gonna go back in time a little bit. We're gonna go back to 2018.
Okay.
When I was the full-time supervisor on third shift.
Okay.
I was just chilling, and we had, this was back when people used to, pull boxes. So, I responded to one of these emergencies, and I get to the area where they had called for it, and there was a woman laying on the ground, passed out. She had hit her head. Obviously, hit her head on the ground, like just the way she was laying. Uh-huh. And she was breathing, but she was not conscious. She was not responsive to anybody. And we did not know what the heck was going on with her or anything. So, like, she's on the ground. I don't know if she's had a severe head injury. I don't know what's happening. So I called to get the nurse to come there. And the nurse comes there or whatever. And she wakes up for a second and starts seizing, like instantly seizuring.
Yeah.
Like, right. Yeah. At this point, we'd already called for an ambulance, and the ambulance was coming. We had to bring him inside to, to the area where we were, so they could take her away. But like, in that moment, I had no idea if this person was going to live or die. And I was kind of afraid. I was afraid for my job. I was also afraid in that instance of like what was going to happen. Like, it was pretty scary. It was like, I was just sitting there being like, what's going to happen to this lady? Is she going to die right in front of us? And I had to sit there while staying cool, calm, and collected, going through this with adrenaline pumping and everything. Whatever the nurse needed, I grabbed for her. I let her do what she needed to do and just kept, the scene clear or whatever.
Right.
But like, she didn't know what she was doing either. And I could tell from the look on her face that she was just as scared as I was.
Oh, I'd imagine. I mean, you got somebody's life in your hand right there.
And then the worst part was when the ambulance came in, they loaded her up and was taken away. She started seizing in the ambulance.
Jeez.
So she like seized like 2 more times going to the hospital.
Stop talking about your...
I don't have... Word.
Oh my gosh.
The sad part is like he's 13 years old, so that he doesn't want to think of like these life or death situations. But like when he reaches our age, he's going to experience this, probably a few more like these when he gets to that point. He's just unaware of it yet.
Mine was kind of a. So I had this instance where I was a kid, and they're out where I live in town or close around town on the outskirts. There was this abandoned house, and my sister took me there. And I was probably, I want to say 8 or 9, something like that. She took me there. She wanted to go explore it, and I didn't care, really, honestly. But so we get over there, and the house is surrounded by cornfields. It's all overgrown. It's a 2-story house. Windows are all busted out of it. There's nobody around. We just drop our bikes there, and we walk in. And the thing I hate about the human brain is sometimes you can remember things wrong. And I swear to God that I do not remember this wrong, because I went back later. I walked in, and there were all like thousands of these medicine bottles, the ones that you put the syringe in because it's got the cork in it,
right,
all over the floor. And I remember walking in, and it kind of was like an open area with like a little off-shot rooms over here, and then the stairs in front to go up, and then over to the left led you kind of towards like, I guess, the kitchen area. And you kind of turn around to the left a little bit, and there's still all these medicine bottles all over the floor. But where the basement was, you would go down to the basement, was all full of these medicine bottles. I swear, like, I either was hallucinating or this never really happened, but I do remember plain as day. And I remember talking to my sister about it, and she collaborates the story, if I'm saying the right word. We never obviously went down there because we couldn't get past all those bottles or nothing like that. But we did do a little bit more exploring. And I remember hearing the glass, some of them break and whatever underneath my feet. I went back with a group of friends, probably when I was like 14 or 15. And like I said, I hit my brain because I don't know if I'm remembering it wrong or not. There was no glass bottles, which honestly they could have gotten cleaned up. I don't know if somebody actually went out there and owned it and cleaned it up. But that path that went to that basement was not there. In fact, when you go right into that house, it leads you into a wall, and you would turn right or left, and if you went right, it was a bathroom. And there was a tub, and I remember seeing a red high heel in there that was dirty. And then when I went to try to track back to where that basement was, because since the glass bottles were gone, I wanted to see if I could, like, look. There was nothing there. So I can't tell if my brain just remembered it wrong. It had to have. My brain had to remember that wrong. But I still don't understand what happened. It's going to drive me mad probably the rest of my life because that house got tore down. So
my guess is you were probably going into it already pretty freaked out because you didn't know what you were getting into.
Oh yeah, most definitely, yeah.
So you were probably super stressed, so you probably like projected images or whatever. But like there was probably those glass bottles there the first time. That might be true, but like the path to the basement or whatever, maybe you misremembered it as something else because you know. And then as for like the high heel and the thing, if it was dark or whatever, you could see remember whatever in the dark.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've got no problem doing that, but I just like in my memory that bathroom was not there either. That was the other thing that was weird. I just remember when I went back when I was like 14, 15, vividly remember seeing the shoe in the bathtub, and then I know it was weird because I was like talking to my friends. I'm like, this does not look the same way as when I went earlier when I was younger, and I probably am remembering it completely wrong. But it's still like I know those glass bottles were very vivid in my brain, and I don't know. It's just weird. That's one of the weirdest things. I don't freaking know.
You know, it could have been, something like maybe there was some squatters over there and they were just a bunch of druggies.
Could have been,
and then it could be that like they got found out, they got kicked out, so it got cleaned out a little bit or whatever. That could be a thing too. or I don't know. And like I said, maybe you misremembered, what was the basement or what was to the basement, or if it was something else.
And so that's kind of what I've grown to, is that like I just didn't remember it right, and it could have been druggies. I remember my sister saying to me that like they look like dog meds or something like that, and I think she was kind of just telling me that because she didn't want me to know like they're drugs or they're something that people were using to get high or whatever. She just was, because I think I was asking her about it, and she said it was like stuff that dog medicine or something.
What, is your sister older than you or younger than you?
She's older than me. She is 7 years older than me.
Okay, so she could have been saying something to,
I did not marry my sister, Mubbles.
If he did, Crystal would be very jealous.
Yes.
So, Crystal is a very jealous woman. Very territorial.
But yeah, I don't know. I know that I had to be remembering it wrong, and there may not have been a basement or something. It's just the things that stuck out in my mind going back were not the same things, because I remember looking for the same things, and things were different this time around. So, but it had to be literally that I was just so scared of the place and terrified that it just did not.
Well, how old were you?
Like the first time I went, I was 7 or 8, and then the second time I went, I was hanging out with friends, and it was during, I think, the end of summer, and I was probably like 14 or 15, because I know we rode our bikes there and left our bikes there and stuff like that later on.
So this is my guess, because I kind of had a realization of this too. So I was looking through some of our old photos of like when I was growing up, of the house that we lived in, and I was just kind of like looking back thinking, I don't remember this being that big. Why is it this large? It's like, oh, because of how small you were at that age, it seemed bigger to you at that point, but now it's like kind of small to you. Right. And it's just like, it's like one of those things. It's like as you get older, your perspective of like when you were younger compared to now really shifts, because it's like now it's like what's a good example?
Well,
where's like here, I got one for you.
I swear to God, if you pull a candy bar just from sitting at your desk, I swear to God.
So take, for instance, a controller, right?
Yeah.
This controller now seems kind of small in my hand. Oh, yeah, we have the same controller. Yeah. But yeah, this controller in my hand now just seems kind of small. But like, I feel like when I was younger, like the GameCube controller just felt like it was bigger in my hands until I put my hand, like, I grabbed one. Like, my brother still has a few, so I grabbed it and like was pretending like I was playing on it. I was like, I don't remember it being this small.
No,
like, why does it seem?
I think that's like, you always hear your parents talking about how like ice cream and stuff back then was bigger than it is now, and I almost wonder if it's not like that same scenario, to where when you're a kid, you get those ice cream cones and they're like huge, and then you get them now and it's like, I can eat this in one bite.
I mean, I would agree with that, but then I've seen what they've done with the bag of Lay's chips, and I'm like, okay, they definitely have done something, because over half that bag is air. There's like not that many chips in it. So it's like, to me, it's just like they're definitely doing something. They're trying, they're charging the same price but giving you less chips, because they're trying to make more money by giving less chips over to get all together. But I'm just like I'll open up a bag of Lay's and I'm like, I remember when these used to be fuller, because they probably were.
They probably were. I have seen like where nowadays things look like they're the same price, but there's less in it now. So it's kind of like to fluctuate with the cost of like inflation and stuff. They're trying to make it look like you're still getting the same item, but there's just less in it. One of the good ones was packs of bacon. Used to be,
I can see that
you couldn't get anything less than like a pound of bacon. Now you can get packs that are like 12 ounces of bacon instead of 16. So
and they charge like 10 cents less than an actual pound.
Yeah, it's stupid. Yeah, but I'll never understand. And like I said, the only thing that makes sense to me about that is I'm just remembering it wrong. But it's always freaked me out, because it's one of those questions I'll never know the answer to. The house has gotten torn down and people have already moved into it. The barn is still there, which is kind of creepy. But I'll never know the answer. And I think think that's what's the scariest thing about it is it's just a memory that I have that is
I can guarantee you the reason why that barn is still there is probably because they haven't torn it down because it's probably going to cost them more money to tear it down than it is to leave it there.
Probably.
Because like my grandfather has that issue right now because he's got an old pole barn that's fallen apart, and it should be torn down because it's dangerous. Like, it's not dangerous to be inside of it or anything, but his insurance won't cover it. So if it falls down, it does him no benefit whatsoever. Right. So then it costs him too much money to get it torn down. So because it's not worth anything. So he's just letting it stay there until it finally falls down. And then after it falls down, he'll be like, hey, free wood, come get whatever's left in my barn, take it all, blah, blah, blah. That's his plan. It's like,
that makes sense.
And like I said, because I was out there and my dad was talking about the barn. He was like, there's probably still some good timbers in there. And I look and half the roof is gone. And I know in that hay loft, there was still a bunch of hay up there. And so I'm like looking at him like, there's probably rotted hay up there that's rotted most of that wood by now. Like, what makes you think that any of that stuff's going to be good? There's still some good stuff in there. Are you sure?
How old is he? Like, he's, what, 60? Something like that?
Who, my grandfather or my dad?
Or your grandfather, 70, 80?
No. He's 79.
79. See, he's part of that group of people that are like, everything still has value to it, even if it's rotted. Like,
well, most of it's the memories. He for him at his age, it's like he looks at it and he remembers like, oh, I used to have this in here. I had this cow, like the cattle. I had the chickens, and it brings about like times that he cherishes, basically. Which most of it would be like collecting eggs with my grandchildren. That's what he would look at it as. He's like, I remember all the time, because that's what he does. He's like, I remember when we used to go out there and get the eggs every night. Me and you go out there get the eggs.
So
it's like,
go ahead.
It's just something that he holds on to for that purpose. It's just all memories.
So his chickens and barn is like me in video games. Like, I want to hang on to that stuff now. So I'm slowly becoming a grandpa, is what you're saying.
Oh no!
Back in my day, we used to use forks as spoons.
I already say back in my day to things.
What do you mean back in your day? It's still your day.
I sit there and talk. So I'm in another Discord group that you're aware of, but with a bunch of Army and Air Force guys.
Okay.
And they talk about games nowadays, and I'm like, back in my day, video games, you pay $40 for, you got the full 90-hour experience on a GameCube game. And I paid $40 for those games. It's like now you pay $60 and most of the content isn't even there, and then you have to sit there and pay, a battle pass to get the rest of the content, and then you have to grind for the content. Yeah. It's like, what? It's like, but I played, even though like now when you sit there and think about it, it's like I think about like the old Medal of Honor games that were on GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
They, there was no value to them basically, because it's like once you beat the campaign, what are you gonna do? Like, there's nothing you could do with the game, but because there's no really online multiplayer that would support the GameCube version of the game. So what we used to do is like me and three other buddies, we would play four split screen, play the game with each other, and that was the only way we got value out of it. But we played for hours, we got tons of value out of that. But it's like in the moment when you sit there and think about it, it's like, well, you don't really get that too much, do you? So
yeah.
So it's like I sit there like you pay $40 for a first person shooter you can't play multiplayer with online.
Yeah.
So right. It's like,
so got another question for you.
Okay.
What out of video games did you ever have a life-changing event by playing video games? Something that maybe made you grow up a little bit more, like took a little bit of your innocence away or something like that in a video game scenario or since?
League of Legends.
But that's just because it took your time though, right?
No, I played that game. Okay, I've been playing that. Well, I haven't played it this year, but I started playing that game in 2014, and I got introduced to the toxic side of player bases. the very toxic side of player bases. Like I mean,
chat.
No, worse than our chat. Like, I don't think any of these guys, okay, these guys like us. They wouldn't sit there and wish death upon us.
No.
These people, on the other hand, they would tell you to go die, and then go die in the game, and then you get out of the game. They would friend request you, and then request your address so they can make sure they can do the job themselves.
Oh my gosh.
Just because you had a bad game. And I was just like, I had one of those. This guy literally messaged, like, he was so mad because I had a bad game. Because, I was just still learning how to play the game. I was not that good, and I just had a real bad game.
Right.
And then what happened after that was after the game, he friended me, and he started going in on. And he's like, I want to personally come to your house and, beat your ass and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, we all have bad games. I had a bad game, okay? This is why I'm queuing up to play another game. I just had a bad game. I'm just trying to learn how to play the game better. Like, that's all it is. And the dude mellowed out after that and then deleted me and, whatever. But it's still, I was just like, I'm just sitting there in that moment being like, what is this guy's problem?
Like, to go and friend you just to give you more shit. That's
yeah, it's
great.
Like I'm just sitting there like, like what? It's a video game. What did I do to you? And this is like, did I personally harm you? Huh? Did I wish death upon your mother? Did I, was my gameplay so offensive that you thought that I was like, like racially profiling you or something? What is going on here? Like, why are you so angry?
And these are the ones that are like sitting in there. They're like 40 years old, just sitting in the basement kind of thing. You suck! Just screaming at their computer.
Yep, that's essentially what happened. I mean, like I said, I I do that too. Like I did it. I didn't keyboard warrior anybody. I would sit there and like be angry and shout at the game, but not say the stuff to the people. But it was like my way of outletting. It's like, this person's really terrible. They suck. Blah 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 blah. But I'm not sitting in there and be like, I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to personally hunt you down to the ends of the earth and make you suffer. I didn't do anything like that. I was just like, this guy sucks. And then after the game was over, like, that guy was terrible, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to queue up for another game now. League of Legends, how much more of my soul can I sell to you now?
Yeah.
That's literally how it was, over and over and over again. And it went on, and finally this year I just had enough. I had it. I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't play the game anymore. I'm just like, I can't take it. I can't do it no more. It's not worth it. The game changes so much. It doesn't stay consistent. My role keeps getting butchered because I'm an 80 carry main. So my role just kept getting changed and butchered. All the champs that I'm playing, they would be good. Like, literally the times that I was good was when, let's see. It was when Sivir, well, you don't know any of these people. It's when Sivir and Ezreal are like the top of the like champions in the 80 carry role.
Uh-huh.
And I played those two all the time. And I had a really high win rate with them all. I had really good stats with them all. I was winning games. I was so close to plat. I was one win away from plat. And it happened twice. 2 times where I got one win away from plat. And then I proceeded to lose the rest of my placements because someone ran it down the next games that I played. I was just like, oh.
No.
What does mobiles want? Mike, show us your 6-pack of cool blue Gatorade. So the purple, that is Powerade, and then the blue is sugar-free Gatorade that was given to me that I'm not planning on drinking anytime soon because it's sugar-free. Who wants to drink sugar-free Gatorade? You want some sugar-free Gatorade, Patrick? I'll bring it to work so you can drink it on Thursday.
Well, you might. I mean, I'm on a sugar-free thing right now, but I think you ought to drink one on stream just so you can show how much you don't like it.
It's going to taste disgusting. That's why I've left it there. That's why I've left it there, and I don't want to drink it.
When I was transitioning from...
Oh, okay.
Not like that, Mike. When I was going from PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 2, I had just purchased the PlayStation 2. And one of my first games was Shadow Man 2. Love that game now, but... When I was playing that game, I don't remember how old I was. I was young enough that I shouldn't have been able to buy it. And I was playing it, And I came to this scene where I come up to this bed and I see blood dripping down on the mattress. And I'm like, what the hell? So I start looking around and I look up and there is a body attached to the ceiling and he's hung there and his rib cage and stomach area is opened, flayed open. And each corner of that skin is hung by hooks into the ceiling and he's hung there dripping blood out from his sternum area onto the bed. That moment changed me. I lost innocence. That moment in gaming, because before that, I only played PlayStation, and I think the scariest game I played was Resident Evil. But that moment, I lost some innocence after that.
They were wanting the dog, so I showed them my dog. He's just chilling right here. Here, boy. He's just chilling.
Mike, show us the dog. Track it down to show us. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I moved my webcam so they could see it.
Yeah, I will say, like the hookers in GTA, that was another good one. It didn't destroy me as much because I was already a pervert, but I remember GTA 3, I think you could start picking up hookers and killing them for their cash.
I will say, going back... Okay, so like I said, I used to really mainly only play, like Nintendo games. So I didn't know really any true other games outside of the Nintendo games. So the first time I ever played Fallout 3 and Half-Life 2 were quite the experience. So with Fallout 3, the first time I played through it, the subway where there's the ant, the ants, the giant enormous ants.
I hate those fire.
Yeah. So I didn't know what I was getting into in this game just yet. I wasn't really introduced into ghouls either in this game at this point. And I went down the subway and I came across the ants first. And I was literally like looking, and then I turn around, there's just an ant, like one of those huge ants in my face. It scared me so bad that I like insta shut off the Xbox and threw my controller. And I didn't play the game for like a couple days. And then I went back to the game and, went off from that save point, got past the ant, and was like, fine. And then I thought I heard something down another corridor, and I looked down in that corridor, and then I turned around, and there's a ghoul in my face. Same reaction. Threw the controller, Xbox gets shut off. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to go play Half-Life 2. And then, did you play any of the Half-Life games?
Yes, I loved Half-Life and Half-Life 2.
So when you get past the first part of Half-Life 2 and then you get into the town where you kind of see the horror, like the horror aspects of the game, and, it's like the dark town. And you know how when there's a specific jump scare it's always there no matter what. You're going up a ladder and there's a pipe and one of the real skinny crab ones run at you. That was another instance. Shut off the Xbox, do the controller. And at this point I was like, so this is what it's like to play adult video games.
Yeah,
because I had not experienced that. I had not experienced anything like that in video gaming at that point. Like I hadn't really played a game that scared the shit out of me that bad up to that point. And then that did, and I was like, oh, so I guess we're not playing kids games anymore.
Nope. When I first played Fallout 3, I was terrified to travel alone in the subways or anywhere in Washington. Yeah,
I feel that 100%.
Yeah. Before Fallout 3, there really wasn't anything other than like the top downs and the little things. Fallout 3 is when they made it like first person. And the stuff that was in Fallout, whether it was supposed to be scary or not, it was kind of scary.
Yeah.
Going in those tunnels with those ants or the ghouls and stuff. Yeah. If you're not expecting it. Yeah.
And like I said, this was my first introduction to Fallout whatsoever. Fallout 3 was. I had no idea what I was getting into whatsoever. I mean, it didn't stop me. Like, I eventually returned to the game. I played it. I beat it. Blah, 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 So, and then I played Fallout 4, of course. And then let's not talk about Fallout 76, because it's awful.
I got like a love-hate relationship with that game. Like, I do enjoy some aspects of it, and then other aspects of just like, it doesn't feel Fallout-y. But I like building, so it kind of until they took that away from me. Oh dear God!
What do you mean?
I had over 300% camp budget. Okay, and then they fixed it to where you can't like build more than your camp budget in that game. So I had to tear down my entire Halloween camp. I was so mad. I had over 300% budget on that thing.
Was this when you were breaking servers?
Yes. You load into the server that I'm on, and it's glitchy. Well, my wife would build like as close to me as she could, so we could be together. And just me being on caused her to lag her camp in. It took a while for her stuff to load in.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why they did it. I just wish they allowed you to build more, because I'd like to go back and rebuild to my heart's content, but stuff like that.
I'm kind of wondering if Bethesda would have banned you.
I'm sure they probably would have. But they went through and they made it to where if you had anything over 100%, you could not access anything in your camp. It would not let you do anything in your camp. So your camp was pretty much existed, but it was dead. You couldn't go into places. You couldn't do anything, and then you couldn't change camps to another camp. It would not let you change the camp anymore. So you basically had a dead camp. You couldn't do anything. You couldn't pick things up. You couldn't move things. It was dead.
Oh Lord,
which that's another thing too. That irritates me about games like Bethesda or Fallout and stuff like that. They will fix crap that is fun to play with like that, but they still won't fix the problems that causes the game to crash or shut down or the stability problems. And I realized I was probably causing some of the stability issues.
Or the fact that they won't fix the glitch of when you get into a power armor.
Yeah, like
you come Wendigo man.
Yeah, I took a picture of that when I saw somebody do it. But yeah, they'll go after, and it's not just Bethesda. The other games do it. They will go after stuff that's not harming stuff. Like they fixed early on the power armor glitch through where you could glitch through walls with the power armor. They fixed that before I think they fixed a duping glitch that they were aware of on one of the duping glitches, and they fixed the one where you could go through walls, which did not really benefit you at all, except for maybe you could access areas that you weren't supposed to, or save you some time or something. But instead,
I wonder if they fixed that because there's probably stuff in the game that they were still working on that was in the game and they didn't want people finding it.
Probably. I got into the 3 vaults before they were actually opened. And I had taken pictures inside. They look kind of different than what they are now. And actually, at the end of one of them, if you made it all the way through all these doors, you couldn't open the doors. You had to literally glitch through. But if you made it all the way to the end to where basically an elevator was, there was a terminal there that when you clicked on it and you opened it up, it said, "Good job, assholes." So they knew. I took a picture of it. It's on one of my Xboxes. But they knew people were going to do that. So they knew that people were going to do it, and they were just like, "Good job." But yeah, I think there's still duplication glitches now. I can't build a camp to my content. I can't build something that has no effect on the game other than maybe a little bit of lagginess around it. But yet they still have duplication glitches to where it breaks the economy. I don't get it.
I remember there was something specific that you could do with Skyrim to get under the map of Whiterun, and in it was like the chest that had every item in Whiterun.
Yep.
Yeah. I've done it once, but I don't remember getting anything good out of it.
You can like if you go to the chest that is underneath the Skyforge, he usually has like 1,000 gold in there, and then you can get all of his crafting materials. So if you do it early on, you can get a lot of gold and crafting materials, because all you have to do is like leave the area, rest for a few days or a week or something, and then come back and do it again, and then you can get gold. So you can get like 5,000 gold to go buy a house or something pretty quick, and then a bunch of iron ore and bars and stuff. There were 2 ways to get outside of Skyrim's Whiterun. You could either use the plate method, which you just hold a plate in front of you, run towards a wall, and then it'll glitch you through the wall to where you're like outside the walls, but you're still inside Whiterun.
Well, there was one way to do it where you were walking on the wall and then you'd fall through the wall.
Yeah, there's another one too.
That was the way I did it. That was like the most complicated way to do it, apparently.
What's Alexander say? Bro, Patrick, some Skyrim. The game is pretty dope. Oh, play some Skyrim. Mike plays Skyrim.
I was doing that. Remember, Alex? See, I know when I stream on Fridays, nobody sticks around to watch me because I'm kind of boring, and it's because I'm more concentrated on the game, and I'm not concentrating on trying to be goofy or nothing. I'm just like, I'm going to play through the game. That's what I'm working on. And then if people talk to me or whatever, yeah, that's great. I'll talk to them back. But I know no one sticks around and watches me play. My brother does. That's about it.
Huh?
My brother says he uses my Skyrim streams to fall asleep too.
Is he saying that because he's like, you're so freaking boring, Mike?
No, he's like, it's like he does it with anything. Like he finds whatever, like videos on YouTube to fall asleep to.
Yeah, I think we'd be pretty much open to play just about any game and even stream them that people would ask us. It's
as long as it doesn't get us banned or
true.
hard copyright.
I think I was playing Outlast and I think I came to that birth scene. But I don't think I saw it because I was in a confession box and I couldn't really see everything. But I heard a bunch of stuff going on outside, so I think I skipped that scene.
No. You can't skip it. It's a unskippable cutscene.
Oh. Okay, now I'm a little scared. I did cross over the dead body that was there.
It's towards the very end of the game.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I did have to kind of like skim over real quick because I did show a little bit of a upper woman's torso, and I had it showed it real quick, and I had to like move the camera off real quick. I hopefully that's fine. It doesn't seem like anything happened to the stream.
So when I was playing Modern Warfare 2, I forgot about no Russian, and it came like I wasn't really paying that close attention, and then it came to that. When they pull out the gun and start firing, I went, oh no, and I pointed it upward. I'm like, oh no, nothing going on here. Nothing's going on at all. Like I didn't even fire the gun at anybody. I only fired it at police people that were shooting at me. But I did find a glitch that I thought was interesting. I almost died when you're doing the walkthrough, you can't really do anything. You can't run or nothing. You can only move forward. And I kind of moved to the side, and one of the guys on one of the Russian guys was firing their gun at, airport security, and his bullets were hitting me and almost killed me.
What's he saying? I was just OG Black Ops 2 Zombies. We have.
Well, we did. But there's streams of us playing that mobiles. You have to probably go way back. Yeah, you're probably going to have to go way back and look.
It's fine. We can still play it again. What is Beamng?
Huh?
Alexander said, bro, play Beamng.
That is a racing game.
I don't know anything about it. I am horrible at racing games. The only game that's I'm okay at racing-wise, it's got to be Grand Theft Auto, just because I can steal the cars.
Dude, I beat Need for Speed Most Wanted. So, okay, my favorite game racing game I ever played was Need for Speed Most Wanted, and I took the Cobalt. At the very beginning of the game, there's like two cars you get to pick from. Okay. I picked the Cobalt, and then if you then I went through and selected with every wanted driver. Like you could get like certain things you can get extra money, you can get experience, blah blah blah. I selected the parts, the special parts. Okay. And I got every special part, and I put it on that Cobalt. That Cobalt was faster than the McLaren F1 that you could get at the end of the game. Oh my gosh. That Cobalt was supercharged. It had a top speed of I think it was 100. No way, it was higher than that. It had to have been higher than that. I think it had a top speed of almost 250 miles an hour.
Jeez.
Yeah, and I used to on purpose drive through the city and see how fast I could get it. And I had it. It was sick looking too. I had it I had these there was a multi-toned color that you could get. It was like a platinum color, and I had that, but I had him on flames on the car, and I had him tinted a little darker, and it was, oh, dude, that car was sick looking. I mean, sick looking. I wish I took pictures of it.
All right, Mobiles, you have a good one. Thanks for joining us.
Yep, see you, Mobiles.
Oh.
Yeah, it was.
So I'll have to look into that Beamng or whatever it is. Is it on Xbox?
I think it's on PC.
I don't know if I can do that then.
Well, I mean,
I'll have to look into, see what I can do.
I mean, I don't even know what. I used to play Gran Turismo, and it was okay.
Yeah, I played Gran Turismo on the old PlayStation, like Gran Turismo 2 and the first
Gran Turismo 2 was the one that I played the most because it was pretty good, but I haven't played any of the new ones.
No.
And then I played. It's a Steam only game, so it's a PC game. Or is it?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I have no idea.
But I don't even know what, like, I kind of, well, I want to watch, what is it, the Edge Runners anime, and then probably play Cyberpunk.
I heard that that Cyberpunk anime is pretty good.
Yeah, I've heard it's really good too, but I haven't bothered to watch it yet because I've been watching too much other stuff, like way too much other stuff. Like that was another thing that got me on the topic of time travel is because I was watching Re:Zero with somebody earlier today, and they were starting to get really into it, but they were like kind of questioning. It's like, is he time traveling? What is he doing exactly? And I had to explain to her what is happening. But yeah, it's that's part of what started the time travel thing. I wrote that down as a topic.
Yeah, that's fine. After
I started watching it again because it's one of my favorites. So I would suggest you watch it too. But like it's 50-some episodes, so
that's all right. I'm always looking for something new to watch. So
I think you'd really like it.
I think
Crystal will probably really like it.
She gets into the stuff like Attack on Titan and stuff as well. She really gets into that kind of stuff. Like we love Sword Art Online. We what the hell else was that other one that we just we were watching?
Oh, I got you to watch Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, we watched that one. But no, there was another one before Sword Art and before Attack on Titan.
Was it the Fate series?
No.
Bleach?
No, I can't remember what it was.
Naruto?
High School of the Dead.
Oh no. 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 I have yet to watch it, but everybody I know that has watched it, it's kind of one of those things where they're just like, "Oh, why did I watch this?"
Yeah, I mean it's good. It's a good anime. It's only like 12 episodes long.
You say it's good. It's good for the culture.
It's nothing like stuff. It's nothing like High School DxD or Queen's Blade.
No, because High School the Dead exists. That's why High School DxD exists.
It's good though. You should probably at least try an episode because it's like everybody goes to zombies and stuff. I liked it.
I mean, I'm well aware of what it's about. I've never watched it, but like I also know. I also
Boosie Badass said. What did Boosie Badass said?
I also have Cyberpunk. I have it on Xbox, but apparently PC is the way to play it. So maybe I should buy it for my computer because I have a 3060 Ti.
I don't know why you're bragging about venereal diseases, Mike.
No. Alexander knows what I'm talking about. He knows what a 3060 Ti is.
Treat a queen like a queen and a hoe like a hoe. I thought you were supposed to treat a queen or a hoe like a queen, and then a queen like a bitch or something.
Well, don't tell Crystal that.
I'm gonna go treat her like a bitch. No.
What? No, we know you're the bitch in this relationship, Patrick. Let's be honest.
Thanks, Mike.
The sad part is she's gonna get mad at me because I said that.
Probably. A 5500 XT.
Oh, that's I'm pretty sure. Is that Radeon? Is that what that is?
I don't know. I think I've got a 512 meg graphics card.
I'm pretty sure 5500 is a Radeon graphics card.
I have no idea.
Or it's basically AMD, which is another. So you have Nvidia, who is their graphics cards are more in tune to Intel processors, and then you have AMD processors, and who they have their version of graphics card as well that's more in tune to their processors.
Yeah,
so
I don't know any of that. Like, I used to know stuff like that, but not anymore.
So typically, what the difference is with them too is on the Intel side of things is kind of like the Intel side and Nvidia kind of side of things. It's more kind of quality over performance, while the other one's more performance over quality. So like the quality is not going to be near as good with AMD graphics cards or processors, but the performance is going to be usually much better because they thread their cores differently. While Intel and everything, they're more quality over performance.
Yeah.
Which it's more complicated, very hard, especially somebody who's not computer savvy. Like if I explained any of this to Justin, he would have lost it as soon as I said AMD. He would have stopped listening to me.
Yeah, see, I don't like the laptop I'm running has a Core i5. I mean, other than that, it's a 10th gen. That's about all I can really tell you.
Yeah, he's got his CPU is old. So if I bring up mine, let's see. System information. I have. Let me look here. I have.
I better not do anything on my stream. You can almost see the porn in the reflection of Mike's glasses.
Screw you. I have a i7 1200 700KF.
I have no idea.
So I have a 12th gen. I have a 12th gen i7. Is basically what that means. I have it's got 12 cores, and I also have a 3060 Ti graphics card.
You keep bragging about that 3060 Ti, but all you do is play League of Legends. I don't know how.
I don't play League anymore. I play World of Warships.
I have a low quality potato PC.
Most people do. Don't feel bad, Jay. Most people do. Like, this PC has a liquid cooling system in it. It's pretty awesome.
I don't know if I believe Mike or not. He's probably
does. It really does. It does. It has a large cooling unit right here, and it's hooked up to my processor.
You're not supposed to put sperm in the coolant.
It's got distilled water in it.
Yeah, you're not supposed to add anything other than that. Never mind.
What have you been sticking your dick in?
Well, I don't know, toaster.
I mean, that picture that Justin posted on the Discord is kind of accurate, so.
Yeah, that was gross. I don't know how he fights. Does he just sit there searching for these pictures for hours on end? Or does he make them?
Don't even know. I don't even know. I mean, I don't know. I don't make I don't know. I mean, I make memes, but none of them are for us. They're for a different channel or a different Discord.
Oh my God.
In fact, I just found one the other day that I had, or earlier today, a person that I didn't know that I wanted to react to it didn't react to it. So I was scrolling through Facebook, and there was one thing. It's like not something that you don't find on every day on Facebook, and it was it says bondage bed, and it's got one of those at the foot of the bed is like, you know, those old how they used to punish people, the stocks. You know, you put the person's arms and head through, and then you lock them in it. It's got that at the end of the bed.
What the?
and in it, there's a guy like advertising it, and he's locked in it.
Oh my gosh, Mike!
And I was like, I found these two people a bed. Add Alexander on. I think I'm the only. No wait, Justin does have a Snapchat, but he uses it for his harem.
Yeah, I don't use Snapchat. I don't even. I'm right there at the cusp of like being too old to know how to use technology, and then being too young to not use technology. So, like,
he still has a Samsung. He still has a Galaxy 8. That's
how
far behind That's how far behind the times he is.
Dude, when I bought that thing, I was upgrading from a freaking iPhone 5C. Okay, so.
Yeah. And I'm just sitting over here, with this big, huge thing.
Yeah, and you gotta whip it out, Mike, so everybody can see how large it is. It's like, look how small that is.
Yeah, like look. Because I have a Note 20 Ultra.
Yeah, listen to the money bags.
No, actually, you ever? Oh no, wait, that's right. You don't have an actual true phone plan.
What are you talking about?
You have one of those little month-to-month thingies, don't you?
It's Xfinity.
Yeah, I have AT&T. So
yeah, and you pay like 7 times more than I do a month.
Probably not.
Okay,
how much do you pay?
For my phone, I pay $45 a month.
Okay, what about for your wife's phone?
Since she doesn't leave the house, she doesn't need data, so I don't have data on hers. So I'm only paying $12 for hers, and that's unlimited minutes and texts.
So you're paying a total of what, $57 a month?
I'm paying $68 a month for 2 phones. Okay. Mine's unlimited everything, and I just don't have data on hers.
Okay, so we have 5 phones on our plan. All have unlimited data. All have unlimited calling. And we have HBO Max as well with it. And we pay $421 a month.
Oh my god!
But it's split. We split it several ways.
Still, I mean, like, $400 for a cell phone plan. Like, they take advantage of people on cell phone deals. They really do.
I mean,
I can still watch the same kind of porn you watch on this phone right here, Mike.
What? You don't even need porn. You have a wife. Oh, I forgot you can't perform.
What? Patrick Chief has my mom pays $230 a month for 3 phones, unlimited data. I have home internet with Wi-Fi, of course, because everybody does, and the wife that's what she usually streams off of. But I will say that I could turn my phone into a hotspot, so when we're out, she can have my data, so I don't have to worry about there. I am a cheap ass, by the way, and I found out. Okay, hypothetically, this phone hypothetically has a NFC chip reader in it. Hypothetically, can write on NFC cards that hypothetically could be used as Nintendo amiibos. So hypothetically, I have a bunch of bootlegged amiibos.
Alexander, how do you have Google Fiber? That's so unfair.
Yeah, that is BS. Do you see they are starting to put fiber optics? I don't know if it's in for anything, but they're in the town that you guys are living in. On the outskirts, they're putting fiber optics in.
Oh, really? The the outskirts of town. Oh, that's brilliant. Come to the residential areas, you. Oh.
I don't know if they're setting up for it. See, I kid you not, I have a fiber optics line running through my yard. There is a fiber optics line through my yard, through my parents' yard, all the way down the road. Okay? But it's for the school. I can't get access to it.
So this is the sad part. They have fiber optics throughout town, but it's for the bypass. It's for all the businesses of the bypass. They run on fiber optics. They won't send it out here. I'm running on broadband that they installed in 2008 that they won't upgrade. And they're the only internet service provider in town, like outside of satellite internet. So I'm sitting here running their crappy broadband internet. It's 2022. This is not staple technology anymore.
Yeah, I'd like to have some freaking optics man coming in, but
literally, this is the sad part. Okay, so when we lived out in the countryside in an apartment complex, we had fiber optics there, and we only paid for 60 megabits a second though, but it was always at that 60 no matter what. It never went up or down. Never in literally it was across the board ran at that 60 no matter what. The only time we ever lost internet was during this. It was just before the Super Bowl started. Okay. And it was because there was a car accident that took out the power to their hub. So they had to fix that, and then once it came back on just in time for the Super Bowl to start. Oh my gosh. I remember because Justin was getting super angry, that being like, "Why don't we have our internet back?" Blah 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 blah. And I called them to find out what was happening. And they literally, somebody came into the office because it was all down, and said, "Yeah, this is what happened. There was a car accident out over here. Our hub is down because of that. So we have to wait on AEP to do what they got to do to restore power to it before we can turn it back on. But we're working on it right now. Like it's getting worked on right now." And yeah, so I was like, okay, I can handle that, whatever. Spectrum, on the other hand, decides to go down about every single night for at least 30 minutes. And there's no reason. It just does it.
It's every night because all the perverts are logging on to the same porn site. It's bogging down the internet.
And then the worst part is we get throttled too. There's 2 times of the day where we get absolutely throttled. Where we pay for their fastest plan, right? We're supposed to get 200 megabits a second, and there's certain times of the day where it drops down to 3, and I'm sitting here like, what do you want me to do with 3? Yeah, it happened to Justin. Justin tried to stream during one of these times when they were throttling us, and he couldn't stream because the quality was so bad. Yeah, it's because they dropped down our speed. I'll run an internet speed test right now and tell you what we're at. Internet speed.
See, test. I can get 1,000 megabytes. I think that's the maximum I can get, 1,000 megabytes here, but it's a lot of money. And I don't know. What I've got right now is 100, and it seems to be okay. Everything
right now, I'm looking at 250 megabits down and 21 up.
I wish I had more up.
And and this is another thing too. Spectrum changed our plan. So originally, the plan that we had was 400 megabits a second, and never one time did we ever reach that 400. Not once. The highest I ever saw it go was 300, but we never once reached that 400. And then they got rid of that plan, so they just put us on a different plan. They didn't tell us either. They kept the price the same, but didn't tell us what they put us on. And I noticed that we're not getting 300 anymore. The most we're getting is this right here, 250. So I'm sitting here like, what the heck? What do I do? And Alexander's over here bragging with his 2 gigs a second. Shut up.
Yeah, I hate, I really wish I could tap into the fiber optics that's right in my yard, but I wouldn't even know how to, my thing, I'd cut into it, and then it's going to cost me a fortune because they're going to fine me.
Yeah. Well, also, it's not that... It's not that simple either, because... So, fiber is, it's literally copper. It's copper wire, and it's connected with different materials and stuff. That's why it runs super well, because it's just running through a solid, pretty much like a copper, like it's a strand of copper surrounded by some other material, but it's a big thick wire. So like what you'd have to do is you'd have to tap into that. So you'd have to get something that would come off of that, and then you'd have to turn it into an internet, like a pluggable internet connection in your house. Yeah, so it's like way more complicated than that. Like literally, so for be able to do it. So when we moved into this house, we called Spectrum, and I gave Justin specific instructions on where to put the internet. The guy came out here. He refused to listen to Justin and said, "No, this is the best spot. Like, you'll get Wi-Fi throughout the house." And I was like, "No, we won't. Where he wants to put it, we won't," which was in Justin's bedroom. So the router's in there. So that, sometimes I wonder if they just didn't kick it off on accident. Sometimes when I lose connections, them kicking the router on accident. But no, I always call and they're like, "There is an outage in your area." Well, screw you people. Yeah. But anyways, so I told them I wanted it in the kitchen, like them to hook it up into the kitchen, because it's the central part of the house where literally I don't have to run very far wire to get to it. And then on top of that, I would be connected to it. They would all be connected to it. We'd all be connected to it. It'd be, I could connect everything with the Wi-Fi and only have my computer, running into it wired. Right. Nope, wouldn't do that. So now I have my TV, my PC, and my Xbox hardlined into it that I had to run outside the house along the siding through a window to get to the router.
Hey, don't feel bad. I ran 2 Ethernets from our internet is in the center of the house, and I ran 2 Ethernets up across the ceiling all the way back here to this room, down underneath the door and in here, because there'd be times that I wouldn't get hardly internet connection back here on Wi-Fi. It's helped a lot more since then.
I don't get Wi-Fi. Like, literally, my strongest Wi-Fi connection is if I go in my bathroom.
That's a lot less lead paint.
So like I'm sitting here. So I'm sitting here, my phone, a thing pops up from my phone, a notification. You have an update on your phone. You need to connect to Wi-Fi. Okay, so I have to go put my phone in the windowsill in my bathroom and connect it to the Wi-Fi to let it download.
You need to get those Wi-Fi boosters to plug into your house.
So you don't want to do that. The reason why, if you do that, what you're doing is weakening the bandwidth of your overall connection.
Yeah. I was going to say, if like you thought that your router's not getting old, because I know you're using a router you bought, right? So
yeah, I paid $300 for that router.
Do you think, though, like, I mean, that thing's on 24/7. Like, do you think it's starting to get worn out?
No, because it's still pumping the same speeds. It's consistent with the speeds. It's consistent with the problem is it's got so many walls to go through. Like I said, if they put it in the kitchen where I wanted them to put it, it would have had one wall to get through to get to my area and to get to Justin's. But because Justin's is in the bedroom, his bedroom, now it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 walls to get through to get to me. So it weakens for every wall it goes through.
All you have to do, I'll come over with my drill, and we'll drill a hole in the wall and put it in the kitchen for you and run the line on the outside.
I don't think Justin will agree to that. He'll be like, "No, you can't." He'll sit there and go, "No, you can't come in my bedroom. That's where all my secrets are."
Oh, well. I don't know. You find out, like, he's doing some Jeffrey Dahmer shit in there.
I don't think so.
You don't hear any, like, solid going on?
I don't hear anything like that. I will be flat out honest with you. I am super happy that we have the living conditions that we do here, because I'm got the most walls away from them, right? Uh-huh. So I don't have to hear them. And in the last 2 apartments that we had, there was only one wall between me and him.
And you probably heard a lot.
Oh, I used to give his girlfriend shit all the time. I used to tell her, I'd be like, you're not advertising to be a porn star, right?
All they see is this hole being drilled through your wall into theirs, so you can like peep through.
No, it's the audio. I have to hear it.
Well, then you're missing out. Like you should have. No. I mean, like you should have been on the other side, like screaming and moaning too. So when she was moaning, you should have been like, ah!
If I did that, Justin would have killed me because he would have lost his mojo.
Yeah, but no.
He would have been like, you made me flaccid.
But what it is like when you hear it stop, then you hurry up and get down wherever you're at, go sit in another chair, like you're reading. You like you possibly couldn't have been making those noises. Yeah, so like.
Usually, whenever that would happen, like I would be literally laying in my bed, and I would just hear the two of them. And as soon as they would do that, I would just take my headset, put on my head, and turn music up so loud that like I can't hear them at all. And then it's like nothing's happening.
Yeah, you could have had so much fun. You could have taken like a hot dog and like put it underneath their door and just like slid it back and forth. Why things are going like no. Justin's like in the job going at it, and then, like he looks down there at the door and he sees this hot dog going back and forth. He's got to laugh. I mean, you would think he'd have to laugh.
Eventually he would, but I don't know.
He would be pissed, but he would still have to laugh.
One of the other worst times that I had to deal with this was during in 2016 when the Cubs were in the World Series. This was before the two of them started dating. Uh-huh. He had a little fling going on with some college girl. I don't remember what her name was, but so this was, I think, what was it, Game 4 of the World Series? It was one of the games. I was downstairs in the living room watching the game, and next thing I hear this was when we lived in a townhouse. The next thing I hear going through the ceiling is thump, 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 thump. And I'm like sitting there trying to cheer for the Cubs, and I'm just hearing this thump, 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 thump going on on the ceiling above me. And I just sit there like, oh my God, how long is this going to last? It went through one out. That's all. That's how long it lasted. So it went through one at bat. That was literally 3 strikes. And then, so like I'm sitting here watching, I'm like, oh, Anthony Rizzo just got struck on 3. Oh, he's done.
Maybe he was watching the game too, and he was really excited, and then like he struck out, and he's like, "Oh."
No, because about 10 minutes after that, him and the girl come walking down, and she's got the walk of shame.
Oh, well, how do you know that like he wasn't into pegging, and that was his head hitting the wall?
He was fully conscious and walking, so I think he was fine. Those were some thumps. I'm telling you right now, those were some thumps. If that was him hitting his head, he would have been knocked the fuck out.
You should have had a broom, like those old shows where everyone's sitting there beating on the ceiling.
I almost thought about doing that, but then I'm sitting there like, if I cause him to lose his mojo and, for him to go soft, he's going to come down here and beat my ass. Like, I don't think you understand. I don't think you understand.
He might have, okay? But it would have been so worth it just to screw with him.
No, I don't think you understand. This man
We're
is
talking
committed.
About Justin, yes.
This man has the utmost commitment to the deed. It's like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, the steps he will go through. Like, this was back in his man horn phase, too. So he was like, there was another girl he met up with, and they snuck into an abandoned house in another town 25 minutes away from here. They snuck into an abandoned house. And I was just like, wait, so you committed breaking and entering? He's like, the window was already open. I was like, but was there a for sale sign on this house? He's like, if there was, I didn't see it. I was like, but you literally committed breaking and entering. He's like, yep. And I was like, was it worth it? He was like, she was hot.
Maybe that like excited him more that they were like breaking and entering kind of thing. Some people like that. Maybe he's not excited about doing this to other women. Maybe he's excited because he knows you can hear it. Maybe that's what it really gets him going. Maybe that's why it only lasted him through one out, was because he's like, oh, Michael can hear it. Michael can hear it. Michael can hear it.
I hope not. If that's the case, I'm gonna really question him.
Maybe
be like, I think you've got some issues, my guy.
He doesn't want the women. He just wants you to hear what's going on. Like he's not gay, so he doesn't want to involve you. He just wants you to know what's going on.
Or he's just sitting there and be like, ha, I'm getting some and you're not. Ha.
It could be the two. You should have been like a butler, like knocking on the door. Anything I can help you with, sir?
Sit there. Mr. Justin, I'm hearing strange noises coming from your room. Are you all right?
Yeah.
Do you need assistance?
Or
do I need to give you CPR? Do I need to call you an ambulance? What do I need to do?
You could have messed with the girls that he had over. Like once they were doing their walk of shame, walking past you, you could have had like a fake syringe and be like, "Hey, Justin, it's time for your syphilis shot."
No. I avoided a lot of the women he was with. Like the plague. Because they were, some of them were real bitchy. Like, I mean, they were not very nice. And I don't know why. Like, I never did anything. They were just like, they just treated me like garbage. And I never did anything that I was just existed. And they were just kind of crappy towards me. And I'm like, what did I do?
Probably because they were pissed because he was screaming your name. It's like, my name's not Michael, it's Michelle. And he's like, Michael.
I don't know. It's either that or maybe he just told him, he's like, you do realize if I date you, he's part of the package, right? And they were just like, I don't want him to be part of the package.
Like,
he's like, well, I can't date you then. So they're just mad because he won't date him because I can't be part of the package.
He's like, if you want all this, you have to take all of this.
It's like he's exclusive. He's got to come too.
Oh my God.
His current girlfriend was the only one that was actually nice to me.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, that's why she's still here.
I still think you should go over there while something's going on and just quietly sit down in the corner with your bag of popcorn. Just watch in the dark, and just sit there and eat your popcorn. Do you really think Justin would care? Like, if he's in the middle of all of this stuff going on, you guys have been friends since the beginning of time. Like, if you just walked in and sat down, do you think he would stop?
I think he would just look at me and go, what are you doing?
Like, why he's still going at it?
Just like, don't mind me. I'm just here for the show.
He would probably be like, that's it, Michael. You could stay, but you're getting this on your face.
I would insta-leave. I think I've told you before, we've been roommates since 2011, and neither one of us has seen the other person naked.
I don't know. I would have, if I was living, I would have ran in there into somebody's room naked. Like, first day, you guys would see my penis. That's just how dedicated I would be to you guys.
We are both not like that. We're not the frat boy kind of person. We don't sit there and so the first roommate I ever had, he was like that. I came home and worked one time and he's just buck ass naked on my couch. And he did it on purpose because he knew I was coming home from work too. And I'm like, bruh, why are you just out in the living room with no clothes on? He's like, why not? It's like, what do you mean, why not? Yeah. It's like, what do you mean, why not?
Why not?
It's like,
oh my God.
I'm just sitting there like, I'm pretty sure we're not in college, bud.
It's one of those things where it's like, not like an icebreaker, but like cutting the stress or whatever. I can't think of the one it's now called, but like where you got the two people, you got like this bro stress between you guys, and you just got to release it somehow. And the only way I know is like jumping in the shower with each other. That's about the only way. I mean, that's how you got to know like the kids in gym class better, right? Like you were,
we never did anything like that.
No, like, well, when I was in gym class, like for some reason, all these kids wanted to like walk around naked. I don't know why. All right, but you felt closer to them, like you knew a little bit more about them than anybody else did. So you kind of like instantly had that like fist bump kind of going on, even though you didn't fist bump.
No, we are both the kind of person where we're like, get that penis away from me. It's like, I don't know where you've had that thing. You could have just pissed out of it. And you're just holding your dick in front of me with it still, a little dribble of piss coming off the tip. I don't want that near me.
Oh my gosh. I'm crying.
Like, he has the same thought process when it comes to even like back when we were talking about going back in time and stuff, and I was saying there was no toilet paper, there's no toilets, people smelled bad all the time. That's his first thought too. Is like, you wouldn't want to go back in time and experience that because there's literally people with shit caked in their ass walking around. You don't want to deal with that. That'd be awful. I don't even like it when my own ass gets caked.
Dear God. I can't even with you, Mike.
Like literally, like I have my shit scheduled down to a T, okay? I shit every morning before I shower. Oh. Like that's how dedicated I am to having a clean asshole.
I can't even. My schedule, man, is sporadic. Dude, I'll go 3 days without going, and then I'll just go like 4 times in one day. Like,
that's so unhealthy.
It is so random. That's why I see a doctor.
I go at least twice a day.
Yeah, I don't.
Doctors say you should be going at least once or twice a day.
Yeah, that's just a recommendation.
A recommendation. I mean, I don't know. It's not like, like there's some people I know they won't go for weeks. They'll hold it in for 2 weeks. Yeah, that is a major problem.
I like walking around with 40 pounds of shit in my ass. It's like, come on.
Down there in that lower colon, it's probably super impacted down there.
Oh gosh. I don't like. It's like saying to yourself, I hate my plumbing. Like, you're just gonna blow it up, man.
I work at Taco Bell with a moldy Twinkie, so my shit is not a problem. No, you probably have a waterfall coming out of your ass.
Yeah, Taco Bell has not been the best of. Like, fiber's supposed to help. It's not supposed to be a laxative. There we go.
Oh. Yeah, dude, yesterday I ate a bowl of fiber cereal, and hoo boy, I got cleaned out yesterday.
So gross. So gross. I tell you what, man, a colonoscopy.
Uh-oh, we got a spam in our chat.
Thank you, Alexander.
Wait, what? Why are they still coming through? No.
I mean,
we're getting.
They could have joined our channel, and we're timing them out.
That was 100% a bot.
That was definitely. I'm gonna have to click on this and see where it goes.
Oh no! Don't click on it.
Here we go. Let's see.
Congratulations, you're
virus. God.
Yeah,
damn it, it's a virus.
Oh no! Our stream's gonna get hacked now.
No, I didn't click on it. I just clicked on one of the messages and it just shows a heart.
No.
That's crazy. I wasn't expecting. It must be that Jack's Pizza, man. Everybody's craving about it or raving about it or something. What it was probably you talking about walking out on Justin all those times, and then it like put us over on like Pornhub or something.
Oh no!
I would have. I mean, I don't know. Justin scares me sometimes. Like, he is a terrifying person. Patrick, don't get a virus. Yeah. Justin really is terrifying sometimes. So I could definitely see how, like, trying to walk in on him while he's doing something like that. But it doesn't mean, like, you couldn't have fun every now and then, like lighting a bottle rocket and letting it go up and underneath the door into his room while he's doing it. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if you lit it and it flies up and spins around and sticks him right in the ass?
No, I got a good story. I got a good story for you on this one. So me and Justin have been roommates since 2011. Well, before then, when he hadn't graduated high school yet, I was roommates with him then too. But I was mostly he lived at our house, and it was like him, me, and then our other buddy, whatever that I was roommates with first. Uh-huh. And then Quentin was there too, and I had a girl that I was talking to at that time, and I was on the phone with her, and I was probably on the phone with her for a good like hour, and then they found some bottle rockets, and they went to because I had a back door to so my bedroom was like it was at the very back of the house, and I had a back door that went outside. So they found some bottle rockets, and they started putting it underneath the door and shooting them at me. And they probably got about 5 of them shooting into my room while I was on the phone. And then they finally shot out. The last one they shot out at me, they put it in there, and I happened to see it when they did it. So I kicked it back at him, and it turned and pointed right at him. And you just hear, "Oh my God, we got to get off this!" So they're on a back patio too. So they're trying to run down these stairs or jump. I think Quentin jumped off of them and was trying to like get out of there before it blows up. You just hear him like, "We gotta get here!" And then it goes off and shoots off somewhere and blows up. And you just hear both of them fall at the bottom of the stairs. And they don't even check with each other to make sure the other one's not injured. They're like, "Oh my God, he's gonna come after us!" So they took off running and ran to the other side of the house.
See, that's the thing though. Like all the stuff that they did to you while you were all living together as roommates, like it gives you leeway to do something to him. Like all of that stuff, all of it, just take it all and just come in when he's in the middle of everything and just dump shaving cream all over him and his girlfriend.
No. If there's the number one rule I have learned living with Justin is you don't get revenge because he will escalate it. Because he doesn't view it as he doesn't view it as we're even. He views it as I got to get back at you now. So it's like, he does something to me. So if I did something back with him, he's like, now I got to get you. And he escalates it. And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger as it goes. And he's done it with everybody. I mean, literally, what was it? It was with one guy. He was there. I trying to remember who it was. I don't remember specifically who it was. But there was this one guy that he was just fucking with him. And they just started fucking with each other back and forth for a while over period of a few weeks, and it ultimately cultivated to Justin stole his girlfriend.
I mean, I guess that's pretty bad.
Stole his girlfriend without stealing his girlfriend, if this makes any sense. Like, he went and hung out with her, took her to the park, and the girl was like, but I have a boyfriend, and he's like, oh, what did he say? He had a saying that he gave to her. I'm trying to remember what it was. It was mind over matter. If she doesn't mind, then he doesn't matter. And they made out. Because this was high school. So they didn't have sex, they made out. So they made out. Yeah. So they made out, and then she went back with her boyfriend. And I think to this day, he probably still doesn't know that happened.
So you guys ought to find the boyfriend and message him about what happened. I mean, I think this would be a good time.
Justin remembers his name. I don't even think Justin probably remembers the girl's name.
He probably writes down every girl he's been with's name somewhere on the wall.
No, he doesn't. I know this for a fact, man. Remember, I was living with him when he was going through his man whore phase.
Yeah. Like,
and
I had so much fun.
I didn't want to involved in any of that stuff. I was like, you go off and do your own thing, dude. I'm gonna do my own thing. It's like I am getting not involved.
Like you could rig see, there are times that you're probably in that house by yourself, that he's not there. So you could rig his bed up with something that you could activate from your side of the house. So
like now I could, back then I couldn't.
No, but like now, like you could go and hook up like some form of an electric cattle prod to the bed.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
What to do? One thing would have been something. No way. This would have been a bad idea because you would have been like, "Oh, let me watch." But you set up one of those like Bluetooth baby monitors in his room, but cover the camera, so because I don't want to see anything. And then like when I could hear them going at it, just like get in there and get in the reverse speaker and go, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah, or no, like literally like have it, but the reverse of it, so that way he can see you on the baby monitor while he's doing this, and you're just sitting there all like oily, just crank it off. so he just like the screen just pops on while he's in the middle of doing whatever he's doing, and you're just like, oh yeah.
I think if I did that, he would be flaccid for the rest of his life. He would never be able to get that image out of his head. Like there's no way he could get that image out of his head. And then the sad part is I would sit and be like, now every time you go to bang your girlfriend, you're gonna be thinking of this image. Yeah. And then he will forever mentally remember that, and then he'll be just stuck in that loop of like, oh, I'm gonna go have fun with my girl. Oh no, I can't get it up now.
I mean, you could still try to bring it up to him. It was like, just tell him, it was like, I want you to think about me every time you're thinking about them.
No.
Oh my gosh.
No. I do not want involvement. Please.
We're like, what is it? When the cat's away, the mice will play. We're like the mice talking about the cat behind the cat's back. But the sad thing is this is all recorded, so all he has to do is watch this.
Yeah. He'll just go back and watch the stream and know that we're making fun of him.
He'll come in like while I'm working. I guarantee it. He watches this. He'll come in with one of them damn Twizzlers and whip me across the back. Those things hurt. Those Twizzlers pulling deal. Oh my god, those things hurt.
Yeah, I remember I was present when he smacked you with one. I remember.
Oh my. You don't even have to whip hard with those things. I don't know if it's like the airflow ratio because they're like connected somehow, but dear God, I've never felt so much pain in my life.
What he'll do to me instead is he'll make me do something with extinguishers I really don't want to do. Like he'll probably be like, I need you to go to the I need you to take these extinguishers that's on this shelf, all the CO2 ones, and move them to the other shelf. And I'll be like, well, you're going to help me with it. You're going to help me, aren't you? You're like, no way, man. I've been incapacitated. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to sit there and go, I'm going to have to do this all by myself. And those suckers are heavy. Yeah. And then after I get done with them, he's like, I don't like them. They're moving back.
That sound like...
That's totally something he would do to screw with me. He's like, I know how much you don't like to lift these 90-pound extinguishers.
How much do we make an hour?
Oh, God. Poverty level.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Like putting up with Justin's torment at work we're not even getting paid good enough to do that.
He probably thinks the same thing, though. He's like, these two guys, they torture me just as much as I torture them.
I mean, we come in there and bother him all the time, so I wouldn't doubt that he'd be like, oh, dear, why are they here?
Yeah. Why are you guys here? Why do you have to make my day more miserable? It's like, you make our day miserable. What do you want about?
Oh, my gosh. I don't know, Mike. You think this was pretty successful?
I had a lot of fun. Yeah, did you have a lot of fun?
I enjoyed this. I'm guessing that people like listening to this bull crap. So.
Well, I think we had Alexander in tears
Yeah, he looked like he was having a pretty good time.
Like, next time we do this, we need to get Justin in here doing this with us, I think. I think he can add a lot to it. Like, now, I think he'll add more to the banter, but in terms of, like, topics or whatever, it'll just turn into, like, what I did with me and you just now. We literally ran out of topics, and we just started bullshitting.
Yeah. Which is like not bad. I mean, as long as we got something that we're talking about that's fun and entertaining, I think people like it. I mean, that's
and we can be super funny about it too.
Yeah, Alexander seems to like it. Jay seemed to like it. I think Joseph
Mobiles was talking shit.
Yeah.
I thought sex in high school make out when married. Oh, so he's doing it backwards. So he's like doing what? He's hitting the home run before hitting the single.
He's like, that's how I'm doing it at least. He's knocking the socks before he's eating the box or something. I don't know.
Knocking the socks. I'm pretty sure eating the box is part of the foreplay, but okay.
Well, I don't know. It was the first thing that came to my mind.
That's something I'll have to. Let me text Crystal. Does Patrick eat your box?
Oh, let's not talk about this. Ramch.
Oh no. Oh, that's another thing that we haven't really talked about lately is the ranch. No ranch.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
Like, I mean, it was going good, but I was causing some serious skin problems after that. Like, I would have red rashes on my face wherever that ranch was at, and it would burn for a little while. And when I'd get it like close to my eye or around my eye, like I had trouble seeing for a little bit after. I think I had like slight cataracts for a bit.
Are you talking about when you put it on your face?
Yeah, like it like got into my eyes, whatever, and like it was blurry for. I got in the shower. I jumped in the shower with my clothes on because I had ranch all over me. And I washed everything off, but when I got out, it was still blurry, like for a good half hour. I had to wait for it to unblur. So, bro, you have to eat the box, man. That the best part.
Now the question is, does Patrick agree with this sentiment?
Ain't that like why they call it beatboxing or something? Wait.
Oh, what? God. We can make. I don't think Justin's gonna do anything with ranch ever.
No,
he's not a big ranch person. I don't think.
Justin's not a big anything person. He's a whore.
Well, okay. So to be a whore, you have to get paid for it. He doesn't get paid for it. He does it for free.
There's a couple times he told me that there was some things that happened. So.
Well, this I'm completely unaware of. So.
I mean, maybe not directly to him, but it's still there was benefit out of some things.
Okay, at one point we had his girlfriend's best friend living in our house, and she was literally doing that.
Did Justin stream this week? I don't think he did he?
No, he didn't. He didn't stream at all.
Yeah, Justin's not been feeling well, so that's why we're doing this podcast thing right now, is because he's we want to keep the streams going, but he's not been feeling well. He's okay, I hope, but he's just not feeling well.
He's incapacitated.
Yeah, I don't want to go.
That's the best way to put it. Like, I bet you he's probably laying on the couch right now. He probably forgot we're streaming, to be quite honest.
Probably. I would have figured he would have jumped in for a second, but
I would have too. I guess he's just too bleh.
Probably.
I don't even know if he's gonna be at work tomorrow. Probably. If I had to guess, probably not.
Yeah, I'd say probably not.
Yeah, which means I'm gonna have to do a lot of his. Do this again with next week with Justin. I mean, we could try and convince him.
Yeah,
maybe we, I don't know, maybe do it for Thursday. Oh, there is Trick. Hey, or there is Justin.
Justin.
Justin, they want you to do this with us next week.
Yeah, they kind of rather enjoyed this.
And I know me and Patrick had fun doing it.
Yeah, it's actually
like we've been sitting. The point was to only go an hour, and here we are 2.5 hours into it just because we lost track of time.
Yeah, it was actually kind of fun because we could just sit here and BS with each other.
Yeah.
Alexander says he likes this more than the gaming. I think having Justin as a third person in doing this is gonna open up to some really weird conversations.
I mean, it's probably some funny ones too, but
yeah. So he's probably just jumped on. He has probably no idea the BS we were talking about him.
Yeah. He's gonna go back and watch and go, oh no. And then he's gonna be like, I'm gonna see you in my office this week.
I'm gonna get rode up because of something for tonight.
Talk about all his secrets. I'm sure he would talk about mine and Patrick's secrets too.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know how many times foreskin comes up.
I have to watch the archive. Well, have you said your last prayers, Patrick? Because you're gonna have to.
Hey, with Justin, it is what it is. I mean, he's either gonna kill me or hit me with a Twizzler, or just not talk to me. I think not talking to me is gonna be a lot worse.
Or your dad's hairy knuckles.
Oh,
that's generally how that goes.
Yeah.
It's either he goes after you or he goes after your dad.
Well, even though that Justin wasn't with us talking, he was still with us in spirit for at least the last hour, I'd say.
Okay, Justin, Alexander was asking if he's supposed to do sex in high school or after marriage. And we were like, what? Because he's apparently doing it backwards.
Yeah, he's having sex now, and then he's just like kissing him later on.
He's hitting him and then quitting him.
Beatboxing.
I'm always broke because of all these golden Twinkies. Is that what you're calling your girls now? They're just Twinkies?
That's actually a really good name for them. I mean, they're Twinkies. They're delicious. They're good. They look good, but they don't last long, and they're bad for you. So.
Oh no!
I feel like that's Justin's motto above his headboard. Do whatever you want.
Oh, it is. Shoot, they used to. What was it? When they were all young. Or when we were all young, Justin and the other roommate we lived with, their biggest motto was YOLO and what was it? Live fast and die young, something like that. That was like their motto. That was like their motto for a while. And I was just so they were just doing that everything like stupid. And I would just sit there and go, what is going on? They would be like, hey, we just went on a random trip to Michigan. I was like, oh, what were you going to do? Well, we were going to surf with our surfboards because they had some surfboards. I was like, and then they got there. They literally drove all the way to Michigan, went to a lake, put their surfboards in the sand, took a picture of them, then loaded them back in the car and drove back home. That's all they did. They didn't do anything else in Michigan. They just literally just drove up there in the middle of the night and was like, yeah, we're going to do this.
Being stabbed with a pencil. I've been stabbed with a pencil. You can't see it, but I've got still pencil lead marks in my arm from where the pencil. I've gotten stabbed in the knuckle with a pencil, and you can still see that. Basically, they're tattoos.
I got a weird shaped thumb from shutting a knife on my thumb.
I'll have to tell you about a scar that I've got on my finger on the next stream.
Yeah, you can kind of see it in the.
Look like shit on there. Did you stick that thumb in your ass?
No, remember I clean my asshole. I shit and then I shower.
Did you just say you shit in the shower?
No, I shit, then I shower.
Oh, okay. Oh, God. All right, I think we've done good tonight. I think we've done enough damage. We've really hurt Justin's reputation, so...
I think we've damaged our brand well enough.
I don't think we could go any lower, but we could try.
Jack's Pizza is going to be like, these two guys are just degenerates. Do we want a pizza with them?
I'll be back to work on Thursday, so hopefully ready to stream by then as well. Hopefully. Thursday?
Well, this week starts his vacation, I'm pretty sure. So like, he was going to be off... He was going to be off Monday and Tuesday anyway, and then he's usually off on Wednesdays, so...
It's his name, like, okay, you'd have to know. We use each other's names for, like, logins, usernames, passwords. We use each other's names for everything in here.
Yeah.
I think I'm, just for future streams, I think I'm going to be still on Outlast 2 on Tuesday. I've got 2 Tuesdays before Halloween, so I'm going to try to finish that game up by then. Mike, what are you working on?
I'm probably going to have to stream Modern Warfare 3 Friday and Saturday this week or at least, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll go for like a really long stream and try to get it in one session on Friday. Because I gotta get through that, and then I got to get through Modern Warfare 2019 before Modern Warfare 2 comes out, which Modern Warfare 2 comes out the following week.
Are you getting Modern Warfare 2?
Probably eventually. So what I might end up doing is I'll probably try to beat Modern Warfare 3 in one sitting. Try to do it this Friday, and then if I feel like it, maybe Saturday, I'll try to beat Modern Warfare 2019 in one sitting as well.
Awesome.
And then that way, because Modern Warfare 2 drops the following week, then maybe I'll just buy it or something.
It's like $60 on Xbox One, $70 on Xbox Series X. So it's like another $10 for the new gen.
Well, I'm gonna have to buy the 360 version of Modern Warfare 3 unless it's cheaper on Steam, and then I can stream it off of Steam. Let me look. Modern Warfare 3. It is... Oh, it's $40 off of Steam, so maybe I'll just buy it off of there.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, because I think it's still... Unless it's $40 on Xbox, it's still expensive.
All right. I'm ready to get...
All right. Yeah, I'm ready. Next time, I'm going to come prepared. I'm going to have a drink on my desk with me.
I thought about
because I'm really thirsty
here and like getting drunk as I drink.
Well, oh no!
I mean, not
drinking as you talk.
I would have a cup of liquid that I would drink, and then my speech would start slurring throughout the night. But
I think the chances of you saying something dumb would be really bad.
Probably. Well, Alexander's starting to really say some off the wall stuff. So, thank you everybody for joining. We appreciate it, and hopefully this did good. If it seems like it did, seems like you guys like this. We'll probably do this again, maybe with Justin, as long as he's not dead.
Do it again some other day.
Yeah, but yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.